Academy and KIPP Atlanta. Brian Zwerner here with John Morgo. John, this is our first game of the season. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun this season in Atlanta football.
Yes, it is. Looking forward to getting started with this one. I called it the attack of the acronyms on my preview article on SportalSpace.com because KIPP and Best, two private schools going at it here today. And Brian, I believe you have a guest to talk about this.
Yeah, we got a special guest up here in the booth is Dr. Jones, the principal of Best Academy. Thank you, Dr. Jones, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you and the boys from the Best Eagles out there. So tell everybody out here a little bit about yourself. How long have you been the principal here at Best Academy?
I've been at Best for 6 beautiful, long years. Excited to be the principal.
Fantastic. And tell everybody a little bit about what makes Best Academy so special.
It's small, it's unique, it's full of support. We have a 6 through 12 all-boys school. So we're excited about the expansive partnerships we have and the opportunities for our young men to reach their fullest potential.
And tell us what BEST stands for. BEST is an acronym.
It is. So it's Best Engineering, Science, and Technology, 6 through 12 Academy.
Fantastic. How many boys go to the school?
We have right now about 400 boys.
Fantastic.
And we're always recruiting for more.
All right, so if you're out there listening, you need to take a look at applying to Best Academy. Dr. Jones and his staff run a great school over there. Now, one of our advisors at SportalTV is Anthony Flynn, the new CEO of the 100 Black Men of Atlanta, and we're very excited about his relationship with your school. Tell us a little bit about how the 100 works with Best Academy.
They've been working with us for about 10 years. They provide such support, volunteerism, mentorship, but the best part of the relationship is that every place where we are lacking or there's a gap, they fill it. So it's been an exciting run. Those guys have been supportive of just not the school, but the Atlanta community. We have the robotics that just happened district-wide. There's some initiatives now that they are actually involving other schools in. So we're not selfish. A high tide floats all boats. So they have been phenomenal.
Well, if you're out there listening, you need to check out the 100 Black Men of Atlanta and the wonderful things they do for the Atlanta community and for Best Academy specifically. Now, Dr. Jones, tell us a little bit about a success story. Tell us about a graduate who came through your program, really benefited from the things you guys offer there at Best Academy and what he's gone on to do.
How much time do you have?
We got about 15 minutes till the game starts.
So one story in particularly that touched my heart is Sherrod McClendon. He came from a school where he didn't feel necessarily supported. Structures weren't built around him, and he wanted to reach his fullest potential. The kid was a genius, but didn't feel like anyone was pushing him towards his destiny. And he came to Best his 11th grade year. He ended up graduating our Val, and he ended up with a full ride to LSU. He finished early, and now he's in law school at Georgia, so University of Georgia. So success story. We have hundreds of them, but he's one that really stood out.
That's fantastic. Well, Dr. Jones, you told us there are a lot of those stories to tell, but we told you just had one time for one tonight. But we really appreciate you spending some time up here, and we're excited to have Best Academy Eagles taking on KIPP here tonight. Thank you very much, Dr. Jones. Enjoy the game.
Thank you so much.
John, we're going to get back to talking about this football mashup we got coming here. Best Eagles and the KIPP Warriors. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, I'm looking to see if Best Academy can take the next step. The last season, they won their first ever playoff game in the Georgia High School history. They beat Temple Institute 34-27 before losing to the eventual state runner-up, Rabun County. So can Best take that next step? But I think they're going to get it done on their defense. We were speaking with head coach Joshua Moore during the week. He was telling us about one of his very good linemen, Richard Benton Jr., number 9. He's definitely going to be a player that we're looking at. 30 offers is what he has, according to Coach Moore, and that's going to be how Best is going to operate today.
And the KIPP Warriors coming off a tough season, changing coach. We got Bruce Adrine stepping in there, trying to rebound from a rough record last year. What do you think it's going to take for these guys to get things rolling?
Well, they went 2-7 last season, 1-5 in the region, and of course, this is interesting that there is a region game starting off the season, and it's kind of funny because there's only 8 teams in this region, so you wouldn't expect that. You would expect them to kind of get a little non-region opponents, maybe somebody in 1A or something along those lines, but no, they're going right into the region slate here against a team that's kind of along the lines of what they have to offer. And I was speaking with head coach Audrine about this, and he's going to be looking at his quarterback, Leo Blackburn Jr. Kind of interesting story. He's only a sophomore, so he's going to have time to grow and develop into this offense.
Yeah, we were over at KIPP earlier last week, and Coach Adron, he's told us that this roster was still seeing new players coming in at the first week of school. So it's a young team. It's a team that's still trying to find their way, and they're going to be faced with a tough best Eagles team right out of the gate here. Now, this whole region runs through Hapeville Charter, the 2A champion, and that's been the story for a little while.
Exactly. Hapeville Charter defeated Rabun County last season. Of course, the championship games at Mercedes-Benz. There's a little bit of controversy on that situation. A surprise snowstorm, some instant replay issues in the game that was actually played in there. But yeah, Hapeville Charter, it's interesting. Hapeville Charter only has one member on the preseason Class 2A team that was recently announced about a week ago. So Hapeville Charter's got a lot of people that they have to replace, and we'll see how it works throughout the season. Now, that could give an avenue to a team like a Best Academy to try and get the top seed in the region.
Well, we've got about 11 minutes here remaining until we kick off. Both the teams are going back towards the locker rooms now.
Yeah, and it looks like we should have some good weather for football. We had a rainstorm that hit the area about 3:30, I would say, and that kind of blew through, finished up about 4:15, made things a little muggy. So conditions like that'll be an issue to talk about today, especially in the first game of the regular season. Usually in the scrimmages that we saw last week, cramping might not be that much of an issue simply because the teams aren't going full bore. But now with it is being the regular season, and here we are outside in kind of humid conditions. I believe, when it was raining, the temperature was in the high 70s, 78, 79. But now that the rain is over, it blew through, it's going to be probably high 80s, 90 with excessive humidity. So cramping is going to be an issue probably for both squads. And we'll see how the conditioning factors in toward the end of the game.
Yeah, not too bad down there on the field conditions. It's a turf field down there. It's not very hot, but it is a little bit slick on that turf. It's still wet. Big rainstorm that rolled through here not too long ago. Now tonight, John, we are joined at Lakewood Stadium by Hot 107.9, our partner for the entire football season. They're going to be out here every week. Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Highlights high school football tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on their schedule, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. And they're going to be live everywhere we go all season. So we're excited to have them out here bringing it. And if you want to get out here and see these games, these guys are going to be out here. There's going to be all kinds of Hot 107.9 swag being given away throughout the nights.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Glad we are partnering with Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys all season long, so that wherever they are, we will be. And we got a good one starting us off here today in about 9 minutes. As it's kind of interesting, KIPP, we're not sure if they got lost or anything, but which is very hard because they're only maybe a couple miles from here. But they didn't arrive. They didn't really fill into the stadium until about maybe 5 o'clock, 4:50, somewhere around in there. Now, Best has been here since about 4:25, 4:20. So KIPP is really KIPP is really going to have to race through their warm-ups. And that could be another issue for them as well in terms of how ready they will be to play this football game. Now, KIPP after today will have a road game at Osborne, while Best will host Banneker. As again, now they'll go into the non-region parts of their regular season before getting back into the region play. We do have one other region game going on tonight. It's going to be after this one. Douglas and Washington will go at it from this very facility. Also got McNair going out of the region against Towers, Terrell, and Osborne. And Hapeville Charter is going to be off today. They have the day off. South Atlanta going to Carrollton to play Central Carrollton. And, of course, we're going to update you all about those results as we get them in. It's really the first they say it's week 1, but usually teams will start off this week or next week. So it's kind of like week 1A in the Georgia high school season. It actually kicked off yesterday with a couple of games up in Rome, Georgia. The earliest start of the Georgia high school season, I believe, in history. And we got some exciting action going around here today. So, again, we'll be sure to keep you updated on everything that's going on here in Georgia high school sports.
Well, we've got about 7 minutes to kick off. We're going to run a short behind-the-scenes video, give you a look at what we had to see when we were out at KIPP Atlanta and Best Academy. And we'll be back about 3 minutes' time once this video is done.
Welcome to SportalTV's End Zone to End Zone Week 1 edition. I'm Ned Case alongside Kyle Sandy, and we're going to bring you great high school football action all year.
Yes, we're going to have some top 10s, we're going to have some game previews, some highlights, all the best stuff that we love as fans about Georgia high school football.
This week's premier matchup goes between Atlanta Public Schools and Best Academy and KIPP Atlanta. Both schools reside in transient neighborhoods, so they both endure a lot of roster turnover from year to year. But both rosters have legit college football talent across the board. KIPP is coached by Bruce Adrine, who replaces Lester Caldwell and is coming off a 2-7 season last year.
Defensively, the Warriors are going to have a hard time replacing All-State linebacker Quentin Arnold, but they've got a lot of different ways to try to do that. The way they're going to try to do that most this year is on the offensive side of the ball, using their spread offense. Sophomore running back 5'5", Lydell Daniel, rushed for over 400 yards last year, averaged 6.6 yards a carry when he did get in, 6.3 yards per carry when he did get in. And they're going to be following behind the big offensive lineman, the senior Connell Fain. So, for KIPP, a big thing for them is going to be scoring the ball on the offensive side of the football this year.
Best is led by Coach Joshua Moore and is coming off a season where they went 6-6, making it into the second round of the playoffs, where they lost to eventual state runner-up in Class 2A, Rabun County.
Yeah, they do lose a little bit there, do the Best Eagles, but they return a lot. The preseason All-State defensive end, Richard Benton, he's their stud, 14 sack season last year, 20-plus Division I offers, some Power 5 schools included in those 20-plus. Along with him, a transfer from Michigan, the state of Michigan, Greg Robinson comes in. He's been impressed. He's impressed the coaching staff. And another guy to keep your eye out for, he was a second-team All-Region selection as an athlete last year, Rashid Whitehead. I look for him to get a lot of touches in the offensive game this year at the wide receiver spot.
Live here, Sportal Space News at Best Academy as we preview the game coming up between Best Academy and KIPP at the Westside Classic. I have here starting fullback, 3-year starting fullback, Giovanni Morgan. Giovanni, how do you guys plan to compete against these guys this week?
So basically, what we plan to do is watch a lot of film on them. Even though they lost a lot of their key guys last year, we're not going to take it light on them. We're not going to play down their level. We're going to make them play up to our level. Been putting a lot of work over the summer, so, it's time to let the pads do all the talking.
And that's a preview of our first game, KIPP playing Best Academy. You can catch that game on our YouTube page, SportalTV. Next up, taking a look at the 7A matchup, Walton versus Mill Creek, part of the Corky Kell Classic. Kyle, looking forward to that one, huh?
Should be a doozy in Walton, a school you know very well, a proud graduate here, Ned Case.
Hope you enjoyed that behind-the-scenes look. We had a great time over at KIPP Atlanta and Best Academy earlier in the week. Brian's Warner here with John Morgo. John, This is the first game of the season, about 3 minutes to the official kickoff, this early kickoff start here at Lakewood Stadium, and it should be a great one between the KIPP Warriors and the Best Eagles.
Yes, we were talking a little bit about KIPP's players to watch a little bit before the break. We were talking about Leo Blackburn Jr. Other players you got to pay attention to, maybe their cornerback, DeVarnay Bird. He's a 5'5 sophomore, 165 pounds. They also go through their running back. His name is Lydell Daniel. He's number 29. He's also a sophomore. And the junior, I believe, is going to be number 4, that's Patrick Rutledge. No, I'm sorry, he is a sophomore. So we were talking about this a little bit earlier. All sophomores from their skill positions for KIPP. So we'll see if Coach Adrien has that nucleus that he can build around. Now, Coach Adrien did come to KIPP High School from the middle school level, and he went undefeated with them last year, 9-0. So it is possible that as those middle schoolers move up, that he could get that court to work around. Now, KIPP lost the last 4 games of the regular season last season. Their only region victory was one over South Atlanta. So they're going to need something to really kickstart their season, and hopefully they'll be able to do well against Best Academy here today. We're seeing the captains come out. That's going to be KIPP on the far side. Best is on the near side. I see Daquan Devine, number 63. Number 11, Giovanni Morgan. Number 8, Rashad Whitehead. And number 9, Richard Benton Jr. They are the 4 for Best Academy. Then again, Benton Jr. is their all-star defensive player. We talked about him in the open. As Whitehead, they don't pass a lot, but Whitehead is going to be their main target.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Moore over at the Best Eagles, he described their offense really as a pro-style offense, said we see some multiple looks, very run-heavy, and they're going to be leaning hard on Giovanni Morgan as their ball carrier to advance them up and down the field.
Exactly. So we're getting the coin toss. Stands are trickling in. We should have a pretty good crowd here today, especially if the weather holds off and we can get these 2 games in. Again, rain really isn't the issue. Teams will play in the rain. They will not play in the lightning. And one thing during that big thunderstorm, that big storm we had, there was no lightning, there was no thunder. So that was very important for whether or not this doubleheader can come off unscathed.
The only thunder and lightning we want to see is from the running game out here, John.
Exactly. So you're going to see Best Academy. They are in the dark jerseys, the black jerseys, the gold pants, and the white numbers. KIPP is on the right. They're in the white jerseys with the dark numbers. Head coach for KIPP is Jason Adrien. Again, this is his first season. Took over for I believe got it right. I got it right here. He took over for Coach Caldwell. He was still with KIPP Academy. Lester Caldwell, their 5 previous seasons, still with KIPP Academy as a teacher, but decided to forego his football duties. Again, these teams have not been in existence very long, maybe 5 or 6 seasons. KIPP's got a career record of 12-31. Best, a little bit better, 25-40. And they are this series between the two, 2-2. But Best won the last one, snapping a 2-game KIPP winning streak.
Yeah, Best took that game 32-14 last year. Today's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game. And we are getting set for the kickoff. It looks like it's going to be the Best Eagles in the navy and gold kicking off, going left to right on your screen. KIPP in the white with the purple numbers on the far side receiving.
Exactly. So we should have a good game going, and privileged to start this season here on the Sportal South Game of the Week. Your official game time temperature here from Lakewood Stadium is 84 degrees. Again, we've got some high clouds. They've kind of thickened it up a little bit in the last few minutes, but again, I don't see any rain in our forecast. KIPP's coming out, and Best is going to come out as well, and they will be kicking away from our left to our right across your computer monitor. Now, Best is coming out, and let's see who's going to be our returner. We're going to have two returners on the near side. It looks like 29. And that's going to be Daniel. That's going to be Lydell Daniel. He's going to be at the bottom of your screen. And he's their main running back threat. And over at the top of the screen, that looks like number 1. And I believe that's their quarterback, Leo Blackburn. So we are ready to go, and it's a poocher. Lands at the 35, jumps into the hands of one of their men, goes to the far side, and he's pushed out of bounds into Best territory at the 49.
A daring way to start the season, John. He pooch kicked that thing. They found a hole in the receiving team, but number 11 there for
Ryan Jovel was the one who pulled that up.
Managed to pick it up and get it back to just about midfield, and the KIPP offense is about ready to take over.
They'll be at the 48-yard line, ball on the far hash. They'll split out. Looks like number 7 will come to the near side.
Yeah, kicking game at the high school level, John, could be a bit of an adventure, so not a terrible idea to start the season off with a little bit of a pooch kick.
Blackburn has it. He bobbled the snap, gets it to Daniel, comes to the near side, gets to midfield. So it'll be second down and about 8.
Nice safe play there, just off left tackle, but even there, a little bit dicey with the snap for this young team.
Yep, Daniel picks up the snap, gets 2 yards. Second down and about 8. Ball rests at midfield. 11:33 remaining here in the first quarter of action from Lakewood Stadium, just underway. Now the sun comes up, and it's going to bake that artificial turf. KIPP is ready for the play. Now they come out of their huddle. Coming to looks like a ball in the middle of the field. Blackburn claps his hands. He's sure there's a screen pass to the far side. And going around to the right side and then getting the first down is going to be number 7 for KIPP Academy. And that will be Sam Pittman.
Yeah, nice little safe pass to start him off. Throws right by at the line of scrimmage, and nothing too hard for him to get that going, get a little bit of confidence for this quarterback.
Give Pittman about 10 yards. So we got the first of our campaign here in 2018. Ball's on that far hash. Blackburn calls for it, keeps it to Daniel, and Daniel will get 2 yards going straight up the middle. So Daniel picks up 4 yards on 2 carries. Actually, give him about 1.5 yards. That ball's going to be parked in between the 39 and the 38. And it looks like we have a lineman down for KIPP Academy. That's going to force a timeout. I see the number. I believe that's going to be, I think is it 31?
It says 51.
51, thank you. Oh, there you are. Pina Rommel, a freshman.
And he's down there being tended to by the training staff. We'll get a little break here with 10:30 left in the first. It'll be KIPP's ball at the 38-yard line when we come back. SportalTV YouTube channel has some of the best live broadcast highlights, features on high school sports. Subscribe now to SportalTV on YouTube. John Morgo and Brian Zwerner here live from Lakewood Stadium at Atlanta Public Schools. We got the Best Academy Eagles in the navy and gold, and the KIPP Warriors in the white with the purple numbers.
And we have a second down, maybe 8.5, as the ball rests in between that 38 and 39. So they help out. I'm sorry, that's E.J. Hatton, number 51. That's who was helped off. Blackburn again in the shotgun. Now he'll go to that screen pass, and it looked like Best was ready for it. So I don't know if that was Pittman again, but again, he'll be stopped well short of the first down marker, and it's going to be losing 3 back to the 41.
Yeah, the Eagles figured that one out. They weren't going to fall for that play twice, John.
So Blackbird's got to use another route. 2 screen passes to the far side. This is going to be 3rd and a long for about 9:35 remaining here in our first quarter.
That's going to force the Warriors to go to the air here, and they haven't done anything past the line of the scrimmage yet when they've been throwing it. But he's going to have a spread look out here with 4 receivers.
Yep, 4 receivers. Blackburn's got it. Again, he looks to the far side, but it's a screen pass out of the backfield to Daniel. He does a nice move to get around the first man, but that caused him to lose his balance a little bit. He's down at the 39. Giovanni Morgan was there to kind of mess things up just a little bit. It's only a gain of about maybe a yard and a half to Daniel.
You got to figure at this point they're probably going to go for this, even though they're got about 9 yards to go. Looks like they're lining up for a play. And, John, that's their 3rd pass, and all of them have been behind the line of scrimmage, not letting him air this thing down the field at all.
Well, again, Blackburn is only a sophomore, so you got to figure that maybe the playbook hasn't opened up that much for him.
They're going to have to find a little something more here if they're going to get this 9 yards for the first.
And we have 3 lined up to the top, but it looks like a flag has been called by the back judge. And it's going to be against KIPP.
Delay a game against the Warriors.
And
it's going to make this 4th and 14 now.
Yeah, 4th and 14, and that's going to give them enough of a buffer to get the punting unit on. And that's going to be, I believe that's Ricky King back out to punt. Number 44. And we'll see Best Academy.
He'll let this fly from about his own 40.
It was rolling, and it almost got blocked. So they take a bounce at the 15. They'll fair catch it. Ball makes a beeline for the end zone and is down by, I believe, Devontae Byrne.
Down at the 1.
Yeah, 1.
That is going to be a tough start for the Best Eagles to come out on their first series of the season starting at their own 1-yard line.
Yeah, that ball made a beeline, and as soon as I believe that was Quantez Stiggers, number 23, I believe he was the one.
Back to receive it. He let it bounce. He thought it was going to make its way to the end zone, but, John, it didn't find the end zone. It found the 1-yard line.
No, exactly. So Best Academy will get their first look of things. Again, with their quarterback. And he'll be under center.
Expect KIPP to be mostly in this 4-2-5 base. A lot of corners, a lot of speed out there.
And they were ready. But now we have a timeout. Looks like KIPP called it with 7:52 remaining in the first quarter. No score here from Lakewood Stadium. KIPP had their crack at things. Now it's time to Best to try and punch into the end zone.
Tell you a little bit on the break here about the Sportal End Zone to End Zone show, where we preview the top high school football games each week across the state of Georgia. See highlights and fun behind-the-scenes content dropping every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. SportalTV on YouTube. When we come back here, the Best Eagles will be taking over at their 1-yard line. KIPP with a really nice punt, John. They were around the 50. This ball bounced at the 10-yard line. Best thought it was going to bounce into the end zone, and they were wrong. KIPP jumped on it right at the 1-yard line, and that is where the season will start offensively for the Best Eagles, and they will rely heavily on Giovanni Morgan to try to get them out of this jam.
Yeah, Giovanni Morgan, who had that great defensive play to set up the 4th down. This is Devon Hickson under center, and that could be close to a safety.
Looks like they're signaling it about the same place it started, inside the 1.
That was number 11, Giovanni Morgan, going for no gain.
This
really
is a
not
dangerous
much
spot, John. They don't have much they can do down here, and KIPP is really packing the line of scrimmage. They've got 8 guys in the box right now.
Well, exactly. You don't really want to have a play that takes a lot of time to develop back here. If you're going to pass, what you need to do is do like a 5-step drop and a 5-step advance by the receiver. But instead, they'll go to Morgan again. Morgan's got some room. He's got to the 5, to the 8 before bringing down. Ball still going. It might have been dropped. People are scrumming for it.
KIPP is saying they've got it.
And the officials, waiting for the official word.
Nope, it's going to stay Best Eagles ball.
Best has it. Morgan is able to fight his way to the 10. It'll be 3rd down and about 1. But, of course, the fumble kind of pushed it forward a couple of yards.
Yeah, nice run by Morgan, but while trying to fight for a couple extra yards, he dropped the ball to the turf. But Eagles jumped on it and maintained possession here, and they've got a big 3rd down backed up in their own territory.
3rd and a little over a yard. Hickson is a sophomore as well, but he'll keep it on the ground. Come to the near side. There's your 1st down, and pushed out at the 20. That is Gregory Robinson III with a big pickup on 3rd and short.
Yeah, nice run outside. He got outside of the tackles and started to make things happen, and we started to see some of that speed that Robinson brings to this team. And he gets the first down here for the Eagles.
Yeah, a gain of about 11. Robinson is a transfer student, comes here from Detroit, and he's listed as a junior, 190 pounds. 1st and 10 at the 21. We're halfway through the first quarter. 5:53 on the clock. Ball on the near side. That play took some time to develop. Instead, it'll go to Thornton Thomas. Going around the far side, tried to make the turn, but he'll get maybe 3 yards to the 24.
Had a little bit of a different look there. They tightened everything in, pulled everybody real tight, went with 2 tight ends, and then kind of ran a little bit of a reverse to Thornton there to try to get him some room, and they got about 3 yards out of it, John. Not too much there.
Well, we've seen all rushing from the Best Academy Eagles, and so far it's worked. They've gotten out into the 24-yard line. They got some room to work with here, some breathing space, if you will. This is almost a wing T formation that we're seeing. Instead, on the reverse, coming to the near side to Robinson, and he'll dive forward to get to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he worked hard just to get back to that line of scrimmage. There were 3 Warriors in the backfield on that one. They got great penetration, busted through the offensive line, and really broke that play up before it got a chance to get going.
3rd down and about 7. Hickson gets the play. He'll jog back in. KIPP taking their time getting into their defensive set. Clock's at 4:30 here in the first quarter.
A little bit more of a spread look from the Eagles here on this 3rd and long.
And we might actually see Hickson throw it. That's where he's going, but he kind of eyeballed his receiver immediately. Thornton Thomas with the catch, and a nice play losing the helmet is number 29, Lydell Daniel.
Yeah, came in and made a big stick in the open field, lost his own hat in the process, but got the ball carrier to the ground, and that's going to force the Eagles to punt here.
A 2-yard pickup to about the 26-yard line. And both teams pretty good with the passing. We haven't had one incomplete pass.
Looks like Baker back for the Warriors, John, number 7.
Yeah, that's who that looks like, Robinson III. Waiting for the snap on that far side. There's the snap. There's the kick, a spinner. Rutledge calls fair catch. Oh, and he's belted. That is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yeah, he called for that fair catch. It was a little late. You saw it, but I didn't see it, and sure as heck the Best Eagle didn't see it because he drilled him right after he caught that one.
Yeah, that looked like, I want to say, number 18, Kevian Zachary on that penalty. So it will be KIPP's ball with pretty good field position and 3:37 on the clock. And interfering with the halo is the official name for that penalty, and it's 15 yards. So that ball will get placed right around the 38-yard line. Pretty good field position for the Warriors.
Yeah, just a mental breakdown there, John. He signaled for that fair catch and just got drilled.
Glad to see Rutledge is all right. So we're still waiting for them to move to football. Now the teams are going to go.
Yeah, setting up here at the 38-yard line. Another good field position drive here. Opening kick, the best kind of pooch kicked it to about the 40. KIPP took it back to around the 50-yard line, so they'll start both of their drives in and around near midfield. Best Academy started at the 1-yard line, managed to get out to about the 20 before they had to do that punt.
38 is where we're seeing, and they'll blow that play dead. Somebody moved.
That is our third penalty early in this game.
Exactly. Probably, I think, almost 3 straight plays. This is going to be against KIPP. And this could be a big one. Well, 5-yard penalty, push it to the 43. That's where it's going to get set up. It's first down and 15.
It looked like the Warriors were setting up on that play, John, to throw a little bit downfield. Everything was very conservative on their first drive. All the passes were screens and swing passes. It looked like he was looking downfield that time.
Yeah, it looked like Blackburn was looking downfield. Now he'll throw a bullet, and we're going to have another penalty, probably pass interference. And they were looking for number 9. And I believe that's a very recognizable name, especially for Atlanta Falcons fans, Terrence Mathis. It's only a sophomore, and this is going to be against KIPP.
Yeah, kind of lucky on that one because, John, it looked like he was throwing it to the best Eagles. There was nobody near there.
There were about 3 best jerseys right in the vicinity. And that ball was aimed low, so it's been very difficult for them to try and pick that one off. An eligible receiver downfield. Well, it looks like the band is showing up.
Yeah, look. The first time they tried to go downfield, John, and they had the receivers not positioned correctly. Warriors will set back up here. Let's see what he's got.
Blackbird's going to throw again, a sideline route. It's complete to Pittman. And he'll pick up, he'll get the penalty yards back to about the 33. So it'll be a gain of about 9. They'll mark it at 34. So a gain of 9.
That was a nice completion. They got him nice pocket. There was no penetration there by the Eagles. He set himself up and threw a nice strike there to get him set up for a third and manageable now.
Third down and about 6 with 2:38 to go. That penalty for the ineligible receiver was declined. They just took away the down. On that screen pass, Blackburn, and unable to get anything going, losing a yard, is going to be number 6, Shamari Dowd.
Yeah, and he was blown up on that play by Thornton Thomas, who read that one out. That was a backward pass, John. That ball was definitely behind the quarterback. A dangerous play here around midfield in the open space there. And Thornton Thomas, he's on that one pretty easily and put the ball carrier on the ground.
Fourth down at the 35. Now, Brian, this is our first game together, so I'm going to teach you a little bit of my nomenclature. I call the 0 to 20 the red zone, like everyone does. But I call the 20 to the 40 the yellow zone, where going for a field goal really doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense to kind of go for it, or at least try to get the opponents to draw offside. So they're at the 35. That's the yellow zone, and again, they pick up a delay of game to give their punter a little more room.
Yeah, I can't see them trying to kick a 45 or 50-yard field goal based on what we saw in the warm-ups. So I'm with you on the yellow zone. I think the yellow zone is highly likely to be a punt or going for it. It looks like they're going to see if they can pin him. On the first punt, they managed to put him inside the 1-yard line. It really threw off the best offense. They couldn't get anything going out there. And KIPP has really been in control in the early time of this game so far.
Well, they have been, especially with their running attack. It's just that when they've been forced to pass. So here's our second punt. Got it a lot higher. Fair caught down at the 3.
John, I don't know about that. I know he was a little frazzled because he let the last one bounce and got down inside the 1, but how much worse can you do than inside the 3? Might have been better off letting it bounce and taking his chances.
Yeah, taking his chances especially. It looked like to me that the punter might have, I don't know if hurried it is a little descriptive, because I noticed he the angle of his foot was a lot higher than it should have been. I think he sensed the rush, and that way the ball just kind of shot up in the air. So we've got about 101 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Still no score between the KIPP Academy Warriors and the Best Academy Eagles, the battle of the acronyms. Here as we start off the 2018 season right here on Sportal Space and SportalTV. Lining up, well, with the I backfield, they're in the end zone, and Hickson will just hand up to his fullback, and getting 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and about 7. I believe that's number 11 again, and that's going to be Morgan.
John, I didn't think I'd be saying this early in the season, but our early game MVP's got to be going to the punter for KIPP Warriors.
Exactly. He's had some pretty good efforts to get them pinned deep in their own end zone. But now that we're at the 6, well, he's got a little bit more room to work with. I backfield, receiver split left and right. Hickson will go to the tailback this time, and that's Robinson. And Robinson tried to go left side, but KIPP, pretty swarming, can't give him any room to work with, loses a half a yard.
Yeah, it's a dangerous position for the Eagles. They're going to try to throw it backed up to the end zone. We haven't seen them opening the playbook much. It's all been running plays so far, and I would guess we'll see more of that here as the quarter's winding down. They're going to have to run another play, looks like, before the quarter's over.
Yeah, it looks like a 10-second differential, maybe 11 seconds. Again, that I backfield, receiver split left and right. Hickson will keep it on the ground. And a big swinging tackle by, I believe that's number 57. And it was, I'm going to say that was Robinson again. And Robinson will get nothing. So that's going to do it for the first quarter. No score between KIPP Academy and the Best Eagles here on SportalTV.
Yeah, that is 0-0 as we roll into the end of the quarter. I'll tell you a little bit about our partner down there by the field, Hot 107.9, and the Dirty Boys will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedules, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. And today's game is brought to you by Sportal Space. Sportal Space connects communities through youth sports. Sportal Space, every practice, every game. Brian Zwirner here with John Morgo. John, it's been a defensive struggle. I think we've seen a grand total of 2 first downs in the entire first quarter.
Exactly. And, Brian, it's going to take me a little bit to kind of tabulate my stats, but I can tell you that was Jordan Dukes who had that great wraparound swing tackle back at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, the defense has been swarming for KIPP. They're putting 8 guys in the box. They're not really worried about the Eagles throwing it, and that's really put them in a bad position for the Eagles because the Eagles are going to have to go over the top of this at some point, but I don't think they want to do it from inside their own 10-yard line.
And again, my statistics are the very definition of unofficial, but I've got Blackburn throwing for about 18 yards, 5 completions. Daniel has 4 yards rushing, so a cumulative 22 positive yards for KIPP Academy. For Best, again, they doing everything on the ground. 25 rushing yards. Morgan with 12, Robinson with 10, Thornton Thomas with 3. There's 1 completion for 2 yards, so a cumulative 27 yards offense for Best Academy. And here we are starting the second quarter. Best is going to punt for their own end zone, and it got blocked. And I believe that might be a touchdown.
Waiting for the referees here. They're coming in. It looks like it's going to be a TD for the Warriors. Safety. They're calling it a safety.
They called it a safety. So everybody do the safety dance. KIPP Academy gets on the board 2-0 with 11:50 remaining go here in the second frame.
Yeah, he was punting from deep in the end zone. The rush got to him. There were about 3 guys that bust through the line, and they blocked it, recovered by Best Eagles in the end zone, and jumped on top of him for a safety. So it is 2-0, the Warriors over the Eagles.
Yep, a great defensive stand for KIPP. And we talked about in the pregame how we thought maybe Best defense was going to be the story, and it has been. But KIPP's defense has kind of shown themselves up to the challenge as well.
Yeah, John, if you'd told me the first score we would witness on SportalTV this season was going to be a safety, I would have given you long odds.
Yeah, the Sharps in Vegas were probably giving about 60-1 odds on that. But KIPP will take the points any way they can get them, especially against the team that was second place in the region last year with a 4-2 record. Hateville Charters swept everything last year, 6-0 on their way to that state title. And KIPP is going to get the ball back here to start this drive.
The last kick was a pooch kick about 20 yards. It looks like they're going to try something real similar here.
And catching it on the fly for KIPP and trying to make the corner. That was number 15. And trying to see who that is. That was Christopher Hardiman. And Hardiman will get it to pretty good field position at the 37.
The average starting field position for the Best Eagles, you don't have this right, it is the 2-yard line. And the KIPP Warriors have started virtually all 3 of their drives at the 50 or the right side of the 50.
Exactly. And now KIPP will have a decent field position at that 37.
And let's see, John, if they try to open the playbook up a little bit with this 2-0 lead, all the momentum going their way. Might be time to see if they can test the defense with something a little bit longer.
We'll see what they do. 11:40 on the clock till intermission. Ball in that far hash. KIPP going left to right across your computer screen here in quarter number 2. Daniel in motion. Let's see if they go to him. Blackbird tries to get out of trouble, but the sideline was just sealed off. He only has no choice but to run out of bounds.
Yeah, that looked like Whitehead got into the backfield and just sort of pushed him right out of bounds. He had nowhere to go. He didn't even have a chance to throw that ball away and try to get it back to the original line of scrimmage, John.
Yeah, he'll lose a lot, about 6 yards. And that's going to give KIPP negative rushing yards for the contest.
Looked like there was a penalty on that, but that was declined by the Eagles. I didn't see what the call was, but I did see that it was turned down. With that big negative play there, it's going to be 2nd and long.
2nd and long, called about 2nd and 16. And again, that's a very dangerous play when you're rolling out to the short side of the field. If you've got a good defensive line, as Best does, that's going to give you a lot of options to just get a loss. And we're going to have another timeout here in this second quarter, 11:33 to go, as Best takes a timeout to try and gather themselves. And maybe they think if they can get some more stops and get good field position off the punt.
Yeah, Best has really struggled to get anything going offensively. They've started both their drives at the 1 and the 3-yard line after great kicks by KIPP Warriors both times. So they really need to get a stop here and need to get some pressure back on that punter, make it a little bit harder for them because they cannot start another drive inside the 5-yard line.
Exactly, and they have shown that their defense can move it, but Best has kind of come up strong when they've needed to. So we're back to live action. Blackburn in the gun, fakes the handoff. Now he tries to come up, and again, that KIPP defensive line cannot give him any room to operate.
Yeah, they're not able to block the ends out there, John. They're getting great upfield penetration. They're getting deep into the backfield, and they're sealing that end just like they teach it.
Lost 2 yards, back to the 46. I believe that was Morgan. Giovanni Morgan, 5'10 junior. And a name we haven't called yet is Richard Benton. He has 30 offers, according to Joshua Moore, head coach of Best Academy. He's listed as the only coach in the program's history with a record of 24-40. However, the school record, according to the fine folks at the Georgia High School Football Historians Association, has a record of 25-40. So there's a win out there when the program first started and not attributed to anybody. Another timeout on the field. I think KIPP calls it.
Yeah, coming up on 10 minutes. The clock operator hasn't hit the button over there yet. Still running. He's going to have to get a little time back on that clock. 2-0. John, when we did a spring scrimmage last year over in last season, Grayson versus Stevenson, the first score in that game as well was a safety. So we seem to attract safeties here on the SportalTV network.
Exactly. It'll be interesting to see if we get a safety to lead things off next week, where we'll be with Stevenson and Southwest DeKalb right here on SportalTV.
Yeah, we will be live as those two squads bring loaded with Division I talent to a rivalry game. Join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, August 24th, SportalTV on YouTube.
Well, we're back to live action. Third down. Call it 18 or 19. So they got a long way to go. They got to get to 27. But they're going to rush the ball and get back to the 44-yard line, just kind of calling uncle there. And a handoff to number 29, Daniel. And Daniel will get it to the 44. Another 2-yard pickup. So KIPP's going to have to give it back. And we'll see if third time's the charm for Best, whether or not they can get a good return.
See a flag down on this one.
Probably offsides. That ball's going to bounce to the 15, past the 15, to the 14. That's where it's down.
I'm guessing Best is going to make them re-kick this one if they can.
Probably. Again, Quantez Stiggers is your backman for Best Academy. The officials are congregating. Foul is indeed on KIPP, and they're going to decline it. So they'll, I guess they feel lucky by getting the ball at the 14.
It's big progress over the last two times where they got pinned inside the 2-yard line.
So they'll take the 14-yard line. Will the Best Academy Eagles down 2-0 over the KIPP Warriors.
Talk to you a little bit about our partner, Hot 107.9 on this break. Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Lights highlight high school football tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedule, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 14. Hickson under center. He'll keep it on the ground and a nice little move by number 11, Giovanni Morgan.
That's the first time he really broke free, John.
Yeah, Morgan gets all to the 26. So that's going to be a first down for him. Actually make it the 27, so a 13-yard pickup.
Yeah, they've been feeding Morgan up the middle. They've been testing it all the way. KIPP's been waiting for it. They've been sitting in an 8-man front most of the time, and Morgan's had no room to run. But that was his first nice positive gain there of the game so far.
Ball at the 27, 9:43 remaining until intermission. On the reverse, nothing there for Thornton Thomas. He'll get
nicely
maybe
snuffed
2.
out by the Warriors defense.
Yeah, he'll get maybe 2 to the 29. Second down. Actually, give him a yard is what they're only going to give him 1 yard on that. So 2nd and 9. I hear a band, but I don't see a band. Oh, there they are to our left.
Eagles spreading it out a little bit. They've got 2 wide receivers to the far side, a tight end. Let's see what they're going to do. Maybe they'll try to test the defense with a throw here.
No, they're going to keep it on the ground. And again, no room for Robinson. And that's going to lose 2 back to the 26.
Yeah, at some point, Coach Moore is going to have to air it out a little bit. The Warriors are daring him to try to throw over the top here.
Well, Hickson only has the 1 pass. It was a 2-yard screen. 3rd down at about 11. Best comes out. They did have 2 to the top. Now the receiver is going to come to the near side. And it looks like Zachary. Put a man in motion. That's Robinson. They meet in the middle.
That's 2 men in motion, John, and that's going to be a penalty.
Well, they had the man in motion. And that's going to be an illegal formation.
That's going to put him in 3rd and even longer.
And I don't think I've ever seen that particular infraction called at a high school level or any level.
You know, they may have given him the timeout before the penalty was thrown because
Well,
it was
good.
coming.
That's good. And we've had both teams using a lot of timeouts. I'm looking at the board. KIPP's only got 1 left, and Best has 2. But I think this may be the 3rd or 4th timeout, although this may be Best waiting to see if that timeout goes down to 1. We got 8:04 remaining here until intermission. 2-0 KIPP on a safety because a punt was blocked in the end zone.
Yeah, it's been a defensive struggle so far, John, as these 2 teams work out the kinks in this first game of the season. Coming to you live from Lakewood Stadium in Atlanta Public Schools. Hopefully we're going to be joined at halftime by Jasper Jewell, the athletic director for APS, as we get ready to go back here. Best back in this 4-receiver spread offense. They're going to go in motion here.
Must have given him the timeout. In the shotgun, Hickson, here comes the rush, and Hickson's going to go down hard. Tyree Norwood, number 24, blew the play up, and Hickson goes down.
And that's a big sack. The Eagles are going to have to punt yet again from deep in their own territory.
Exactly. That'll back them up to the 19-yard line. Loss of about 8.
Oh, and that was really the first attempt to try to get downfield with a throw, and it did not go as planned.
This will be good field position for KIPP. Caught at the 46. Trying to come to the far side is Daniel. 50. And he'll get to the 48, 47.
John, I don't like the way the KIPP Warriors were holding on to that ball there. He was swinging that thing around. It looked like he might have lost that one. But he managed to hold on, and they'll start again inside the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Sam Pittman on the return. Ball at the 46. It'll be first down and 10 with 7:10 remaining until the end of the first half.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, the only score tonight was a blocked punt that was recovered by the kicking team, the Eagles, in their own end zone for a safety.
First
2
and
to
10.
0.
Yep, 2-0. First and 10 at the 46. Blackbird in his normal shotgun position. 2 to the top, 1 at the bottom. He'll hand it off to Daniel. And Daniel will burst through the 45, down at the 42. I thought he might have dropped it, but it was not called and there was no scrum. Devin McIntyre will get the tackle, and it'll be a gain of about 3.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of got spun around there. Seemed like the ball was behind him, but somehow he managed to hang on to it. And they'll set up for 2nd and long here.
So ball at the 43. Got to get to 36. Daniel, again, is going to be the tailback. Ball's on the turf. Blackburn gets it. He's running for his life, trying to get to the sideline, and will get out of bounds at the 43.
They managed to make something positive out of a difficult play there and at least retain possession and give themselves a chance here on this 3rd and about 6 or 7. Maybe 5.
Yeah, maybe give him a yard.
We'll call it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, looking over, trying to do some math. It's always difficult. Ball at the 43, so it'll be 3rd and 7 again. Clock stops, 6:26 remaining.
John, if you're the Eagles, I think you got to feel okay about where this score is because just nothing's gone right for them tonight.
Well, nothing's gone right for for KIPP either, especially on the offense. Now, pass out of the backfield. That's a dangerous pass, but it's still complete. That little reeling it in like it was a fish. That is Diallo Mosley, number 20.
Lucky to hold on to that one. That was a dangerous play. There were 3-4 defenders for the Eagles there ready to block that one out, and he went nowhere, and he was lucky to come down with the ball.
Always dangerous when you have to have your lead hand out. Ball rests in the hand, then you got to bring it in. All the while, the defenders are right on your heels. 4th down. Looks like KIPP's going to go for it here at the 43. They really don't have enough room to try and draw Best outside. A lot of time for Blackburn, and he's going to go to a sideline route, and it's short.
Yeah, he got a man open. We are up here in the box, John, and I can hear the offensive coaches for KIPP. They know that was a missed opportunity because he had a man open on the sideline. That was a good opportunity to convert right around the 30 and wasn't able to connect on that one.
Yeah, I was looking for Patrick Rutledge. So KIPP turns it over. First TOD of the day, and it'll be Best football at their own 38. And this is their best field position to start a drive in the ball game. So ball at the 43. Another chance for Hickson.
The average starting position so far for the Eagles this game, well inside the 10. They started one drive at the 1, the next one at the 3, then the 14 before getting this better opportunity. So let's see if Best can get something going. They still got 5.5 minutes left here in the second. The running game's been going nowhere. Their one attempt at a pass didn't work out. It led to a sack. And it looks like they're going to go empty backfield here.
That's what it looks like. 2 to the near side, 2 up top, all on that far hash. Hickson steps up, dumps it over, and unable to hold on to it. That was Zachary, Kevian Zachary, and he had a lot of room in front of him. Just couldn't bring the ball in.
Yeah, the Eagles sold out on that one. They didn't have anybody back to help on the blocking. Quarterback got blown up right after he dumped it off, and if he had caught that one, John, he had a good 10 yards of running room before someone was going to be there.
Exactly. 2nd down.
They're going to look back on that play as a real lost opportunity because he had a long way to go. It would have been deep after the first down before he would have had any trouble.
2nd down and 10. That stops the clock with 5:26 to go. No longer in an empty backfield. Hickson has a man on his right, and they'll do it on the draw. Coming to the near side, Thornton Thomas, and he'll pick up 2 to the 45. Good stop by, looks like that's number 11. And number 11, we'll get you name on that.
Yeah, KIPP defense has really been swarming to the ball. They're not really scared of the pass out here, John. They're getting everything up around the line of scrimmage, and they're attacking these running backs the seconds they get the handoff.
Jovel Ryan on the stop. 3rd down and about 8. Ball at the 45. It's on the near hash. Thornton Thomas is going to set up on Hickson's right. To the near side. 2 up top. Hickson. Got time. Steps up. Delivers. the hands. That's complete. And a big stick off and going for a touchdown. Although we do have a flag down. That's Rashad Whitehead. And that'll go down as a 55-yard completion. If it
John,
stands.
it looks like it's coming back. I think we're going to get an illegal block there right around the 23-yard line. The referees are standing there, and I think this one's going to come back, but it'll still be a first down. But it's not going to – this touchdown's not going to hold.
Well, Rashad Whitehead is the main target, 6'3", 221 junior from his tight end position. He had a great move back at the 30 to get out of the tackler's grasp.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play there, but they're going to call the illegal block, and it's going to come back. It'll be a first down still, probably setting up around the 35, 38-yard line.
Well, they got it marked.
33.
Yeah, they got it marked at the 33. Best field position for Best today. So it's at the 33, near hash. And we'll see how Best uses that momentum.
A little bit of confusion on the formation there for the Eagles, but they'll get set with just under 4:30 remaining here in the second. See if they go back to trying to pound this one, John.
No, it's a pitch to Thomas. He got some room to get through the line. Bring it to the 31, gain of 2.
I see another piece of laundry on the field, John. On the far side, I've got the referees coming together to try to decide what they're going to do with this.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how long that reception's going to go for. I think it would be a completion about 21 yards to Whitehead is what they're going to call it. But for that penalty, it will be against Best.
That's going to back him up a long way. It looks like a personal foul call.
Yeah, 15 yards, pushes it back to the 46.
And there goes all that field position they worked so hard for, John.
Exactly. Really hard to gauge the momentum in this ball game. 4:13 on the clock. 2-0 favor of KIPP. Best came in a 13-point favorites in this one. And the officials will call the play dead. They're looking at the football. Maybe there's a problem with where it was marked.
1st and 23. I'm not sure what kind of plays they've got here with just about 4 minutes left, John, to try to make up this kind of yardage.
I'll tell you what, Brian, we were down on the turf before the ball game, and I pointed out to you one of their linemen, number 73, Danelius Foster, a junior, 6 foot, 435 pounds. That is the definition of a road grader.
He's been out there doing work. We'll see if he can make it through the whole game at that guard position, because that's a lot of work out there to do.
First down, second down, 23 from the 46. Hickson fakes, steps up, wants to launch it, goes underneath, incomplete.
Yeah, good opportunity on that one, John. He had plenty of time. If he could have led the receiver there, that was going to be a big completion, but that ball was behind him. He had to kind of roll down to the ground to try to secure that catch, and he wasn't able to make that. But if that ball had been in front of him, he would have taken up a big chunk of the yards they needed.
That was for Rashad Whitehead, who had that big catch that almost went for a touchdown. So third down now, and I assume that Hickson's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, with just under 4 minutes left, nothing on the board for them. They're going to have to try to get something going here before the half.
2 for 4 passes for Hickson. Now we'll try it again. He's got room. He's got a man, Dedrick Jones. And Jones cannot get the yards he needs. He'll pick up about 10 to the 36. Fourth down and about 13.
That might just be enough, John, for them to give it another try here on 4th down. I don't see the punter coming in, though. The punter is really their fullback, so it's hard to tell.
I believe that was Jovel Ryan, number 11, on the stop. So 4th down and 13. Clock goes. We're hitting the 3-minute mark. Hickson is opening up the playbook.
Yeah, going to give it a try here with under 3 minutes left and rely on their defense if they have to. Warriors haven't done much offensively, so they probably feel like this is a good gamble.
Hickson's got time. Far side. Complete. That's Whitehead. Out of bounds. 1st down at the 16. Pick up a 20.
Yeah, great pitch and catch on that one. He had the protection he needed. He had all the time he wanted, and he was able to loft it out and get that one in front of his receiver, let him run underneath it, and get a nice 1st down as we roll up on about 2.5 minutes left.
So now time starts to be an issue. They do have plenty of it, but now the clock is, well, it's not ticking yet. I'm sorry, 2:34. Ball on the far hash at the 16. On the draw, Thornton Thomas, there's room, 10, 5, flag down at the 3.
Yeah, that flag is in that holding vicinity, John. I think this one's going to come back. The penalties have been just crushers to both of these offenses all night.
And that was a great run for Thornton Thomas. Jalen Thornton Thomas, a junior. And maybe that's why that hole in the middle was so open. Morgan's going to come back in, and Thornton Thomas will take a seat.
Not making it easy on the Eagles quarterback here with all these long-to-go distances so far this quarter.
Ball backs up to the 24. 1st down at about 18. Still on that far hash. Clock's moving. We had 2:20.
It's still time, John. They can run the ball if they want to, and they've shown that they can break some with that, but they're going empty backfield. Oh, no, they've got a running back in there now.
Yeah, they got a running back. That's Morgan, and he'll get it, but he's dragged down and will only get a couple to the 22. And the stop, 24, and that would be Tequavius Silman, a freshman.
And that's a timeout to the Eagles. They'll stop the clock with 1:57 to go here in the second. Today's game brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game. Brian Zwirner here with John Morgo. John, it's been an interesting start to the season. We haven't got the offensive fireworks we would have expected. When these two teams met last year, Best hung 32 on them. And right now the score is 2-0, courtesy of a blocked punt by the KIPP Warriors. The Best had to jump on in their own end zone, and that is the only score so far this first game of the season here on SportalTV.
Exactly, and we are monitoring other scores going around the state. A little far away from we are, Buford 7, Tucker 0. They just started the second quarter in that one. But again, this isn't the early game. Not too much going on at 6 o'clock. A lot of the action will kick off at about 7:30. But if we do get any early scores to our broadcast position, we will certainly pass them along to you tonight. We're under 2 minutes to go. 1:57 on the clock. Hickson will come to the near side. It's complete to Stiggers. Stiggers was going for the end zone, but he's dragged down inside the 10, make it the 8.
Yeah, that was a nicely designed play, John. They had two receivers on this side. One of the receivers took the coverage with him, and it left Stiggers with a really nice cushion to catch that ball and get upfield. But now it's 4th down and about 2 as we roll into a minute and a half remaining.
DeVarnay Bird, number 8, on the stop.
Oh, sorry, 3rd down. They had it signaled as 4th on the field, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, 3rd and about 2. Hickson on a crosser, complete, touchdown, that's Stiggers.
And that was a great play, just a little inside slant. He got right where he needed to be. Quarterback put that ball right on target, and that is our first touchdown of the season here on SportalTV.
So 8 yards to Stigger from Hicksix with a $1:12 on the clock. Now the extra point.
After early running success from the Best Academy, it's in the air that gets him into the end zone, John.
Exactly. They allowed Hicksett to kind of find his groove as a thrower.
And he's getting nice, clean pockets. He's got a lot of time to survey the defense and see what's going on out there, and he's done a nice job on this drive of finding his opportunities.
Still waiting for the extra point, although it looks like for this formation, they may be trying 2, but another timeout is called. And that's going to be the last one for Best in this ball game. They're burning through the timeouts with a $1:12 left.
Yeah, didn't see a kicker warming up when we were here. They didn't have a ton of warm-up time with this early start time. If you're not from Atlanta Public Schools, they have a number of schools that play at the same stadium, so we get these doubleheader nights here. 5:30 start, and there'll be an 8 o'clock game after this one as well, and that's why we had the early start here at Lakewood Stadium. And so I didn't see a kicker out there, John.
Yeah, it'll be another 6 AA matchup. Douglas and Washington will go at it. Waiting for them to make their appearance, although I see a couple of school buses driving into the stadium.
Right on cue.
So this is either Douglas or Washington. Teams come on out. And let's see what Best is going to do. 6-2 is your score. Now, it's the same formation as previous.
Yeah, sort of a wishbone style or something behind him back there. Maybe an I formation.
He's going to give it, and it's
drilled.
blown up. Robinson had nowhere to go.
Yeah, the defender met him about the same time he got the ball in his gut, John, and that was going no place.
Exactly. So that'll make it 6-2. And I believe that was Devin Jones, number 31, on the stop. So the run fails, and KIPP has a 6-0 lead, a 6-2 lead.
Not a typical football score here, John.
No, Best up 6-2.
Now, when Best has been kicking, it's been this little pooch kick about 20 yards into some open space out there. Let's see if they try that with only 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, you want to get a return, but you don't want them to have much time left.
Yeah, KIPP not worried about the deep kick. Their deepest guys are at the 20-yard line now.
Yeah, they expect this to be poached. And, well, we flagged out.
It's going to be offsides.
Yeah, probably. That was actually probably the best kick that we've seen. Didn't go very, very high, but he got a lot of speed on it, so was able to cut through and get pretty deep.
Well, he's going to have to try it again from 5 yards back because the first time they kick away and the kicking team went offsides.
Just the way things have going almost for Best Academy. Well, the clock stays 1:12, and the ball's marked at the 35.
Yeah, I think, John, next week we're going to have a real different look on the scoreboard at halftime with Stevenson and Southwest DeKalb. These two got some pretty heavy offenses, and I think we'll see a little bit bigger than a 6-2 score next week on SportalTV.
Exactly. Two of the more storied DeKalb County programs will entertain you in 7 days' time.
And here we go, second time after the touchdown. The Best Eagles will kick off from their 35 after the offsides penalty.
And this one, a little bit like we've seen before. Caught at the 27. Bird dances. Now cuts back to the sideline. 35. Trying to get to the 40. That's where he is. We got a flag down back at the 33.
Oh, John, this has been an interrupted game so far by the officials. We've got yet another flag on the field, probably about 10 so far this game.
Exactly. This is probably going to be a hole or a block in the back or a chop block.
And that'll set them up probably closer to the 25-yard line instead of the 42 where they got to. Here comes the call. Legal block.
Legal block on KIPP. And he'll push it to the 18.
And with no timeouts
24.
for Best and KIPP with only one themselves, I got to believe KIPP's going to be conservative and be pretty happy, John, to go into this halftime only down 6-2.
Well, I think Best is going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Best
So
kicked off to start this game.
So maybe KIPP will try to air this out a little bit. Blackburn looks to the far side. It's a screen.
That is blown up.
Exactly.
That was number 11, Giovanni Morgan, with a stick.
Yeah, Pittman with the catch. He only gets one. He's been Blackburn's favorite target. He's got 4 catches already. Second down, about 9. 40 seconds to go, but they stopped the
Looks
clock.
like there's a player down on the field, John. Can't
Yep.
see a number down there.
So we got a break in the action. Second player down, both for KIPP. And that's going to give us a little bit of a break. Again, 40 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, do you want to see your favorite team on our end zone highlight top 10 plays? All you need to do is send us your best videos via Twitter, DM, or tag at SportalSpace, and you might be on SportalTV. We had a great top 5 plays of the preseason, headlined by an amazing play by Grayson running back Jonathan Halyard in the spring game. He had caught a swing pass, John. I was at this game. Caught it about the 40. There were a pack of about 6 defenders on top of him, and he broke free for a 40-yard touchdown somehow. It looked like beast mode out there. So if you want to see that, that is in our end zone show, top 5 plays of the preseason.
And we're going to see Grayson in our 2018 Game of the Week package when they take on Westlake. And that's going to be an exciting contest.
Yeah, big matchup in 7A. A lot of Division I talent in those two squads. Should be a lot of fun.
Can't wait for that. Well, they helped the player off. Now they'll turn the clock on. Yep, it's going. We're under 40 seconds. Probably going to be the last play of the first half, although we might have one more depending. And I think they're the flag down for a false start.
Looks like they're going to call that one against KIPP, but it sure seemed to us like the Eagles went through, and I can hear the coaching staff from the Warriors up here in the box. They're not happy about the call, John.
Well, clock is now down to 27 seconds. They will call it against KIPP. Almost looked like KIPP was going to take a knee, but no one got the memo.
Yeah, clock's running now, but there's a 2-second differential. They're going to have to run some kind of play.
Not be surprised if they do, in fact, take a knee. But Blackburn back deep. He's got it. Here comes the end rush, and it's incomplete.
I don't know about that call, John. The Richard Benton had a free run at the quarterback there, and that is a dangerous play, and it stops the clock.
Stop the clock with 4 seconds to go. Now I believe KIPP will take the knee. Because, again, Best can't stop it.
Well, it's not the offensive fireworks that we were looking for, but a real competitive game here, 6-2. That is not a mistake. That is the score we have. The Best Eagles scored a touchdown and did not convert the extra point. And the early score by KIPP was a safety.
Sure enough, we do have a rush, and there's a lot of room. But it'll get to about the 26-yard line. That was Daniel. And give Daniel a lot. I think he picked up about 11. So we're at halftime, and it's been Best Academy getting the best of a defensive battle. 6-2 favor the Eagles over the KIPP Academy Warriors. And we'll have more here on SportalTV.
Yeah, we hope you're enjoying this game. We are joined up in the booth now here at halftime by Jasper Jewell, the athletic director for Atlanta Public Schools. Jasper, thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here. Thank you, guys.
We appreciate your hospitality here at Lakewood Stadium. It's been a fantastic day. We had the clouds rolling in early, but it's a beautiful sunny shine out here for this game between two APS schools.
Yes, it's always a good time here at Lakewood Stadium. You can smell the football in the air. You know, we had a little rain earlier. We're so blessed and thankful that, you know, it passed us over. And now it's Friday Night Lights.
Absolutely. Not the offensive fireworks we were expecting out of these two squads. It was 6-2. Is this what you expected in the early season? Guys working out the jitters a little?
Absolutely. You know, first game of the season, you know, you're still trying to find your way, particularly nowadays when you only have one preseason game to kind of work the kinks out. We're starting third week in August. So it's about where I thought it would be.
Would you have expected a safety as the first score for Atlanta Public Schools this season?
I tell you what, I can't say that I would have. That was a bit of a shocker. But, you know, it's exciting time for the kids.
We were telling our viewers that we had a safety as our first score in our spring scrimmage game between Grayson and Stevenson. So this is kind of normal for us on SportalTV.
Wow.
Now, what do you expect out of these guys in the second half?
Well, you know, I expect the coaches to go in and make a few adjustments. You know, you've had an opportunity to see a whole full half of football. KIPP is, you know, sporting their first-year head coach, so you really didn't know what you were going to get based off of what you had one game of film in terms of preseason action. So I expect, you know, both teams to go in, make a little bit of adjustments here and there, and come out and we should see a little bit better football in the second half. We're excited.
Now, Mr. Jewell, we saw your team. You got all these guys out to the College Football Hall of Fame for Media Day. That was definitely the coolest Media Day in Metro Atlanta. How'd you get that put together, and what was that like for the boys?
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, College Football Hall of Fame has been extremely good to Atlanta Public Schools. We send thousands of our elementary and middle grade kids there every year. We have a tremendous partnership. Our executive director, through partnerships and development, she does a phenomenal job, you know, in helping us gauge all of our stakeholders and our community partners in the area. So I just stepped to her and I said, hey, I'm tired of doing this at the school. What can we do to shake up a little flavor? How about a College Football Hall of Fame? And they welcomed us with open arms. And it was a great day for our kids. You know, they had an opportunity to tour the College Football Hall of Fame afterwards. And, you know, it's right there in the middle of the city. So for us, you know, we're a footprint of this area. So for us, it was major.
What a great opportunity for the boys to dream what could be, looking at that College Football Hall of Fame and thinking about the next level and the kind of impact they can make. And we got a couple of guys out here who will probably be playing next few years in the college level. So we're excited to see how they go. And we will be back here a few times. We got a game against Mays up here. So we'll be back here in Lakewood in the next few weeks.
Hey, we love to have you. Anytime you want to come, just come on out and support our kids.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Jewell. Appreciate you joining us here in the box. We're going to get back to the action here in about 16 minutes live on SportalTV. John, what do you think here? 6-2 is our score. The Best Academy finally got something going on offense. It was a big play to their wide receiver, and then they busted one open to get into the touchdown here.
Exactly. Davon Hickson, we were talking about this in the first quarter. Is he going to pass downfield? Because he did a lot of screens. But in the second quarter, that's what he did. My stats, I got him 4 for 6, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Stiggers got his last 2, including the touchdown. He's got 24 yards. But Whitehead, Rashad Whitehead, who Joshua Moore told me before during the week, that he's the main target. 2 catches for 41 yards, and one of them should have been a touchdown. It got called back because of a penalty, which is really the story of this ball game. A lot of flags being thrown, and that's part of the reason why both offenses having a lot of trouble getting in gear. I've got Best Academy 37 rushing yards, Morgan with 29, Thornton Thomas with 18. For KIPP, I've got them with about 25 cumulative yards. There's a lot of negative yards stuck in there. Blackbird, 6 of 9. but a lot of his receptions didn't go for very much. Pittman has got 2 catches for about 17 yards. Daniel, 1 catch for 3 yards. Dowd has a catch for -1 yards, and Mosley 0 yards. So you factor all that into the equation. I'm sorry, that's 19 yards. So make it 31 cumulative yards. Daniel with 20 yards on the ground. Blackburn with -8.
Yeah, and you look at these teams early in the season here, first game. These aren't huge squads with 50, 60, 70 players that can easily go 11 on 11 with the same kind of talent out there, John. So they had 1 scrimmage game at most to work with, and this is really the first action, and I guess it's easier for the defenses to come out here, and that's what we're seeing. A very good defensive game to start so far. We've got about 14 minutes left in the half. We're going to give you a look at our End Zone to End Zone, our weekly preview show. Enjoy that for a few minutes, and we'll get back here before the half gets started.
We had a chance to go to both Best and KIPP this week. Thanks to them for letting us get behind the scenes. We had a little fun with it as we had a cheerleader and a player from each team competing a little trivia. You'll have a chance to see that coming up next. There you go.
Hey guys, this is 30-second challenge with Richard Benton, and I'm going to be asking him a couple of questions, so stay tuned. What is Batman's sidekick name?
Robin.
This woman just married Prince Harry.
Pass.
Main bad guy from Avengers Infinity War.
The Hulk. Pass.
Who is the host of Family Feud?
Steve Harvey.
The name of Will Smith's son.
Jaden Smith. William. Jaden. Yeah. Smith.
Can you get help? Real name of wrestler actor The Rock.
Pass.
Who did Cardi B recently marry?
Oh, Offset. Oh.
Hey guys, we just came from Best Academy and we are now at KIPP Academy and we are doing the 30-second trivia challenge with
William Perryman
and
Adele Daniel.
Okay guys, are you ready? Batman's sidekick is named
Robin.
This woman just married Prince Harry. Main bad guy from Avengers Infinity War.
Thanos.
Who is the host of Family Feud?
Steve Harvey.
The name of Will Smith's son.
Jaden Smith.
Real name of wrestler actor The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Who did Cardi B recently marry?
Offset.
Guys, we are live at KIPP Academy doing the 30-second trivia challenge with
Callie.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Batman's sidekick is named
Pass.
This woman just married Prince Harry. Pass. Main bad guy from Avengers Infinity War is called? Who is the host of Family Feud?
I can't think of nothing right.
The name of Will Smith's son?
Jaden Smith.
The real name of the actor The Rock? Who did Cardi B recently marry?
Offset.
Who won the NBA Rookie of last year's?
Next up, we had a little competition. You know, sports, football, speed kills, and we're going to see if that's true. Our broadcaster, Kyle Sandy, 10 years older than these high school players. We gave him a 10-yard head start. Kyle, how'd you do?
You're going to have to watch to find out, but I can tell you this much. I was a little sore after. It took me about a week to rehab, but I can't wait to do it next week.
Hey guys, today we are doing Are You Faster Than a Broadcaster? And I'm here with
Devin.
and
Kyle Sandy.
and we are going to see who is faster. He is actually 10 years older than this young man right here. So he's gonna get a 10-yard head start and we're gonna see who wins. Let's see who will win. Come on. How do you feel about the race? Why do you feel bad?
Just lost against a 26-year-old.
But he got a head start. And the winner.
Yeah, well, I mean, once I got my first steps in, it's a turf field. You got the gravel and everything. Once I got my footing in, I knew it wasn't going to slip. I knew I had it in the bag.
Yeah, we appreciate Kip and Best having us out for a little behind-the-scenes fun. Got a good look at a 30-second trivia and our race of Faster Than a Broadcaster. Down there on the field right now is the Best Academy Band, putting on a show for the crowd here tonight. And we're going to tell you a little bit about the Corky Kell Classic going on tonight at Georgia State, the old Braves Stadium, and then tomorrow at Mercedes-Benz. Be 5 games live there tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. We will have reporters in the stands covering the game, so you can follow along on Twitter at SportalSpace. We'll have updates, videos, highlights, pictures and more from the Corky Kell Classic tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. We'll give you a little look back. They run a Corky Kell 7-on-7 event. We've got some highlights we could share with you, show you some of the top teams. That one was won by Marietta. Marietta was in the Corky Kell game last night up at Rome. They fell 51-41 in the late game last night, but they were the winner of the Corky Kell 7-on-7. Give you a look at it right here.
I know what it takes to do this and know that you got something else you got to do.
You guys were unbelievable.
people today. And defense, look, that number 11 is special, but you guys stopped them when you had to stop them. You guys did a great job. Very proud of you guys. Enjoy your weekend. You guys are going to Florida. I need you to be safe. We'll see you all Monday. Love you guys. You did a great job. Let's break them down.
Take care of yourself this weekend.
Hey, yo, family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job, everyone.
John, that was a nice look at the Corky Kell 7-on-7 tournament from this summer. Marietta Blue Devils won that one, and it was Harrison Bailey to Eric Gilbert all day long in that thing, John. You and I were both out there. Got a chance to take a look at that team.
Exactly, and they are a very scary team, and we saw a lot of big offensive productions throughout that 7-on-7 tournament. Probably the preeminent 7-on-7 championship here in the state of Georgia before everyone goes to Hoover for the Nationals, which were held a couple weeks ago. That's really the event that concludes the 7-on-7 season.
Yeah, Marietta playing at Rome last night in the Corky Kell. Their offense was struggling early. They got a touchdown at the end of the half to keep it close. But Rome, many people thought them last year possibly the best team in the state regardless of classification, and they showed it coming out and beating Marietta in convincing fashion last night.
Exactly. In that first game, Calhoun and Ridgeland. Calhoun certainly showed why they are going to be one of the top teams. Again, they won 3A in that very controversial matchup with Peach County, where it really started the discussion of whether or not we should have instant replay in the Georgia High School championship matches.
Well, if they get everything back to the bends, the capabilities will be there. It'll be great to see GHSA find a way to make it work. I know it's not so simple to do. Just about 3 minutes remaining here in this half, and they may throw a little extra time. We still got the band for the Best Academy Eagles out there on the field. Probably going to see a little bit more than the time that you see on the clock there. We unveiled, John, this week our first ever, the inaugural coaches poll. Coaches out there, you should have seen an email from poll@sportalspace.com with a link for you to put your vote in. Every coach in the state is eligible to vote the top 10 in their classification. This is not a writer's poll, John. You and I have nothing to say about it. It's only coaches that get to put their votes in. And the results went about as we expected. Love to see some more coaches. You will see an email from us on Sunday morning. You've got till Tuesday night to get your votes in. Votes are unveiled in our Wednesday, 8 p.m. End Zone show every week on SportalTV on YouTube. John, we're excited to be joined tonight and every night this season by Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Light Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedules, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. They are down there in the track, broadcasting live tonight, so you can catch them on 107.9. You'll see highlights from this game posted by us through their website and also on SportalTV on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
We got a very interesting developing situation over at Ola High School. They're playing Eastside, and lightning strikes have caused a delay over there. Fans have been asked to clear the stadium and will not be permitted until told otherwise that they can come back in. So hopefully that situation will clear itself up, and we'll be able to have football over there between Ola and Eastside over at Sharp Stadium there in Covington.
Yeah, John, driving down here, I didn't know if we were going to have football at Lakewood in Atlanta Public Schools Stadium here because the skies opened up on my ride down. It was pouring, but it is a beautiful night now. It's completely cleared up. The sun is shining on the field, and we got a great night for Friday Night Lights.
Exactly. One other score to report. Buford Wolves set 14-7 over the Tucker Tigers. That's at the half over there just a couple of miles to our north at the Georgia State Stadium. And I'm scrolling through the scores, and I don't see any other results posted. So we're kind of the only game in town if you want early football here on this first Friday of Georgia High School football.
You're looking for updates on that Tucker-Buford game. We have one of our reporters there. He is live tweeting from the field, so you can see short video clips, pictures, stats, and updates. Follow at SportalSpace on Twitter. Looks like the band's finally made their way to the track area. And as you thought, John, they put an extra 3 minutes back up on that clock here for halftime. We will go 23 minutes at half here.
Exactly. That is the normal half. I don't know why they do that. Why don't they just put 23 minutes on and let it go from there? Because that's always what the protocol is for high school football. Again, Washington and Douglas will take the field when we're done. So we'll have 2 games in the books here for Region 6 in the Region Chase. An opportunity for a team to get a good start in the Region Chase.
Now, we will only be live for this game tonight here from Lakewood, but next week you can catch us again on SportalTV. We will be out every week of the season. Next week we will be at Stevenson versus Southwest DeKalb. 2 squads loaded with Division I talent. A big rivalry game. John, we had some behind-the-scenes look at the practices, and these guys are dialed in and ready for big seasons. Both of them looking to make some noise in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think they will make a lot of noise when we finally get to November and December. But it's really hard to think about that when here we are in August. Things are just getting started, and we're really trying to see these teams kind of feel each other out, but really feel themselves out. Because usually you have all these practices and you have that one scrimmage to try and put things together. And so far, that's been, at least for this game anyway, you're going to see a lot of sloppy play, and we have seen that here today.
Yeah, Best really struggled to get going here. Their first 2 drives started at the 1 and the 3 before they got outside of the 10-yard line on their next drive. And it was the drive that started at the 40 that gave them their only score of the game. They lead 6-2. KIPP's score came on a blocked punt that Best had to jump on in their own end zone. And that is your 2 scoring plays of this game. It's been all defense thus far. Mostly running game for both squads, though Best started to show that they can get a little bit of going on through the air. And it will be KIPP to kick off here to start the second half.
Yeah, again, Best will receive here in the second half. They will be going left to right across your monitor.
And strangely enough, John, this will be their first chance to receive since the score was a safety. KIPP didn't have to kick it off.
Exactly. So we're still ready for the clock to wind down. Now it's at 0. So we're about ready to go. As we get close to the 7 o'clock hour here in the Eastern Time Zone. 6-2. A defensive struggle for both squads.
Yeah, today's game brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities to youth sports. SportalSpace.
There's the kick. Thornton Thomas will pick it up at the 5. To the 10. Up the middle. Now comes to the near side. Take it down at the 20.
A nice little return there and a decent start at the 20-yard line. The Eagles in blue and gold will come out onto the field here. KIPP Warriors in white with the purple letters.
Jovel Ryan, number 11, with the tackle. And we've called his name a lot. Ball will be marked right at the 20 on the near hash.
Yeah, KIPP's been running with a lot of 8-man in the box. They've been trying to get penetration up the field and try to get to those running backs before they get anything going, and it's been pretty successful stopping the run so far.
Only about 37 yards rushing for Best Academy. 77 and a touchdown through the air for Davon Hickson, who's 4 for 6.
Yeah, all came pretty much on that one drive that started around their 40-yard line.
Hickson will keep it on the ground to his fullback and trying to keep things going is Thornton Thomas. He'll get it to the 23. He had 18 yards rushing in the first half. It'll be a 2nd down and 7. Ball in the middle of the field. 11:34 and counting here in the 3rd quarter.
And it looks like Best is going to be content to keep testing them on the run. They've got a lot of different backs they like to work the ball to, and nobody's really breaking free for much, but they're chipping away at it, and I think they're hoping eventually they're going to overwhelm the kick defense.
2nd down and 7. Traditional backfield. Thornton Thomas again, and he'll lose one. Going right into the teeth of the KIPP defensive line. And a downed player for KIPP.
Looks like number 24.
DeQuavius Silman. And he's slowly getting to his feet. Now he's there. Well, they reset the timeouts to 3 on both sides.
And it looks like they're going to take him off for a play. Nothing too serious. He's jogging off under his own.
Again, it is very humid, especially with that rain.
Not so humid here in the box, John. They've got a nice AC rolling for us.
Very nice. I haven't been to this facility in a very long time.
Well, we will be back here twice more this season as we bring you the best in Atlanta Public School football from Lakewood Stadium.
3rd down and about 8. Another tight backfield, I formation, handoff, nothing going.
Great penetration again by the KIPP defensive line. They blew that play up, John, just about the second he got the handoff. He was hit, and now it's going nowhere.
Thornton Thomas will lose 4. Jalen Thornton Thomas, a junior. Not too many seniors on this roster. I'm only counting about 6. And really the only player who contributes of those 6 on a regular basis, Richard Benton Jr. And he really hasn't done much today. I think we've called his name a couple of times. It's 4th down, and Best is going to kick it away. KIPP will have good field position. They fair catch it, and on the run at the 42.
Another nice starting field position for the Warriors. The Warriors have been starting most of their drives around that 50-yard line, John, and it's helped them, but they haven't been able to really capitalize on it. Only 2 points scored off the safety on the block punt.
Yeah, that was Sam Pittman, number 7, who has proven to be their most dependable receiver. 4 catches for 17 yards. And only about 31 total yards for KIPP Academy. Best did come in the second half with 114, but they lost 2 in that first possession, to knock it down to 112. It's at the 43 on the far hash. Pittman in motion. He picks it up, trying to get to the near side. Stops, makes a move, and gets down at the 38. Got
a
move
penalty
around
flag
Morgan
on the field there.
Yeah, penalty flag down. And this might be another illegal formation.
It was like a jet sweep type of look. That penalty came in from the line judge way behind the play. I'm guessing it's going to go against KIPP here somewhere.
Now that's the first rush for
It's going to be a hold. Yeah, holding against KIPP. It's going to come all the way back.
So he pick up about 6, but he will lose the yardage on the penalty.
And that was a nice look, John. They spread the field, had 4 wide receivers, put 1 in motion on a jet sweep, and he found himself a little bit of space for the first time in a while. They had something going, but the holding call brings it back.
So it'll be marked at the 49, just on the other side of midfield. They'll redo first down. So it's at the 48 and a half. Ball on the near side. 2 to the top, 2 at the bottom. Blackburn, swing pass, and met up on the other side of midfield.
Yeah, that didn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
That was the Varney Bird. And Bird will lose 2, maybe 3.
Second down at about 15 now for the Warriors on the wrong side of midfield.
And they're at the 49. Got to get to the 33. So at about 18. 8:35 and counting left in the third quarter. 6-2 favor of the Best Academy Eagles. Blackburn. 7 of 10, or 8 of 11, I'm sorry. Another swing pass in the backfield to Daniel. And Daniel will get it back to the 46. Gain of 5.
Yeah, nice stick by Thornton Thomas to get him out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain. And it's going to be 3rd and long again for the Warriors. They have been struggling to get even first downs going on their offensive side here, John, and they're going to need to find something here. Their best player so far tonight's been the punter.
3rd and 11. And Pittman probably is their best player in terms of production. But they just can't get anything sustained. No momentum.
Yeah, the penalties have really hurt them tonight as well. We've had a couple positive plays that have been pulled back. Now the defense has stepped up very well for the Warriors. They've really kept this Best Academy team in check.
3rd down, call it 13. Blackburn claps his hands. He's sure. Now he rolls. Another dump pass. And a vicious tackle, and that's going to get a horse collar, more than likely, as Daniel is manhandled to the turf.
And that was Thornton Thomas. He made the great play on the far sideline, but he was right in the right position, and he swung him down by the back of the neck, and that could be a first down. Should be a first down.
It should be for the unsportsmanlike conduct.
John, that's penalty about 15 so far early in the third quarter here in the second half.
Yeah, but it'll be against Best.
The sticks are not moving.
Well, they got to wait for the ball to get moved. Now it's at the 38. But you're right, Brian. That should be an automatic first down.
Apparently not. So it's going to be 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, 3rd down.
I guess it's not a personal.
Not an unsportsmanlike penalty that merits a first down.
There you go.
Well, they got to get to the 33, but Daniel will only get it to the 35.
That's going to bring up 4th and 2, and I can't imagine they're going to punt this one. They should be trying to pound this one for 2 more yards.
Exactly. And they've been having a little success here in this third quarter, going north-south as we hit 7:14 remaining in the third.
Best bringing in their mountain of a nose guard, Foster, going 6 foot 435 on the roster. So he is going to eat up the space in front of the center, John. They aren't going to get him moved.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to move him. Maybe a steam shovel.
Just under 7 minutes now.
They might have come up early on the edge. It was Richard Benton Jr. who blitzed on the edge. There's a flag as he brings down Blackburn and a yard in the backfield.
The Eagles are signaling this is against the offense.
Well, Benton came in untouched.
The kind of jump he had, you'd think he must have been offsides.
And that's why he has 30 offers for college football. And it is against KIPP.
That's going to be a turnover on downs, so it'll be Best Academy ball.
With 6:43 remain in the third quarter. Second turnover on downs in the ball game.
John, that was a personal foul after the play. They just advanced the football 15 yards for Best.
Well, that was kind of an interesting call.
Must have been something after the 4th down stop, because this is Best Academy ball on the right side of the 50 for them now.
It's at the 47, right in the middle of the field. Hickson gives it to Thornton Thomas, gets out of a tackle in the backfield, but can't get it out of another one.
The Warriors' defensive line has just been overpowering the best blockers, John. They've been in the backfield all night. This one forced them for a big loss.
Thornton Thomas slow to get up off the hit from Jalen Brown, number 22. 6:28 on the clock, and that's a loss of about 9.
Now we'll get a short break in the action here while they tend to Thornton Thomas there. Do you know a student athlete that had to overcome challenges to play the sport they love? We want to share stories that can inspire others and dig deep and find success in sports and life. Send us your Sportal stories and let us help you share with the world. Hope you're enjoying this game today on SportalTV. Tonight's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game.
Well, Brian, I want to talk a little bit about our Game of the Week schedule that we have for you this season. This is the first of our Dirty Dozen of regular season matchups, and they are from all over the Metro Atlanta area. Again, next week, Stevenson and Southwest DeKalb. And then in 2 weeks, August 31st, an exciting Cobb County matchup between Lassiter and the Longhorns of Kell. That'll be very interesting. We'll be back here on the 7th of September with Langston Hughes against Mays. September 14th, Grayson and Westlake. Then on September 21st, the Lovett Lions take on the Cedar Grove Saints. September 28th, Alpharetta hosts Centennial. October 5th, Harrison against Alatoona. October 12th, Alexander against Langston Hughes. It'll be Sprayberry and Sequoia on the 19th. Arabian Mount, Southwest DeKalb on the 26th. And wrapping it up, November 2nd, Tucker and Stevenson. On first down, Hickson rolls, puts it up, almost intercepted. Bird got a hand on it, but he couldn't bring it in.
John, we got more laundry on the field. There are 2 flags down on this play. And this game has been, the story of this game has been the many, many penalty flags thrown.
Yeah, there have been a lot.
You know, he had a receiver open short in the flat, tried to go for it into multiple coverage over the top of it, didn't get it there, and almost the Odell Beckham Jr. style one-handed grab for the interception.
Well, let's check the laundry. Looks like it will be against Bess. They backed it up to the 39.
They got second down on the marker, but third down on the scoreboard. Looks like it's...
I would say it's second.
Yeah, second down off the penalty. They'll replay the down.
Yep, 2 to the top, 3 at the bottom. Hickson
Spread look.
calls for it. Got time. Now he does it. And gets out of one, but can't get out of another.
The KIPP Warriors defense keeps bringing the pressure, and they get him wrapped up deep in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd and a mile.
That was Jordan Dukes, number 57, who had the initial stop. He got out of that tackle, and I think it was Triquest Tillery who stopped him for the loss.
Yeah, this KIPP defensive line, John, has been living in the backfield.
It's just a shame that their offense hasn't been able to do much with it.
I think if you're Coach Adron, it's your first game of the new campaign as the head coach here. He's in striking distance. He just needs one break to go his way, and this game could turn and be a KIPP victory. Coming off the season that he inherited from last year, he's got to be pleased with where they're at.
Oh, he has to. They call a timeout with 5:06 remaining, and Bess wants to talk it over.
Yeah, we're joined tonight by Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedule, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. And John, have you seen Sportal News on our website? We have the latest news on fall sports from across Atlanta. Our reporters are at football games and also volleyball and softball almost every single night of the week. Subscribe to our newsletter to get the top stories right to your inbox.
Yeah, we got 5:06 remaining here in the first quarter. And I know we're technically not supposed to talk about this, but I want to mention that the Atlanta Falcons have scored against the Kansas City Chiefs in their first possession. Touchdown pass from Matt Ryan to Austin Hooper. So the first points on the board for Falcons in the 2018 preseason. Shot out of the backfield to number 11, Morgan. And Morgan will get it to the 46. Nice pickup on the swing pass, about 20 yards, but they needed a lot more than that.
Yeah, even after the 20-yard pickup, it's still 4th and 17 near midfield. Looks like we'll see another punt here by the Eagles. You know, Best Academy comes into this. They were 6-6 last year, made it to the second round of the playoffs. On paper, looked like a bit of a mismatch. KIPP coming off a rough season, a coaching change, and here we are sitting more than midway through this third quarter, and KIPP's got a chance here.
But they have to get their offense moving. And this will be Bird trying to get to the far side. There's one man to beat, but there's a flag down.
Yeah, silly penalty there by KIPP. He was well past the defender, and they still laid him with a illegal block. It was absolutely no reason for it. And this thing's going to come back. It's going to be back to the 15-yard line.
And that is a spot foul. 2. And that's going to make things worse. That's why it's going to push it back to the 15, because Bird had a lot of room on the top of your screen.
Yeah, didn't really need that block. He was already past that particular defender, and the referees are just letting everything fly tonight. So you can't be taking those kind of chances if you're the KIPP blockers here.
No, exactly. And the fact that you have this game not so much in hand, but you're still in it. Only down by 6 points, so a touchdown will tie it up. Extra point or a 2-point conversion will put you out in front. But KIPP, whose only points come on a safety on the first play of the second quarter, they just can't seem to get their offense moving. Yet only 30 yards total offense in the first half. Probably a little more now since the third quarter has started. But really, I don't think they've gotten a first down in this third quarter.
No, and instead of starting this at the 50, they'll start at the 15.
Well, make it the 16 for Blackburn. He's in the I formation, 3-step drop, moves to the near side, throws a bullet pass. It's caught. Trying to come to the near side is Bird. There's room. 25, 30, 35, and that's where he's going to get stopped. Back at the 35, and he'll be slow to get up. That was Antoine Almonte Duncan, number 6. New player. We haven't called his name. Only a freshman. And I tell you what, Brian, they have been very good about getting their underclassmen involved as Duncan hurt on the play. It's going to be a pickup of about 16 yards.
Well, I like that play, John. They had good protection. They rolled him out. He had plenty of time, and he found his receiver out in the flat. He was wide open. He was caught at maybe with 3 yards of positive yardage, but it gives him a chance to make something happen, and he certainly does that. Rolls past the defense, gets him a nice 25-yard gain, and this is what KIPP needs maybe to get things moving.
Yeah, 20-yard pickup to the 30 to 36. We got a KIPP player reclining. I don't know if he's down or hurt or just decided to take a break. Now he gets up. 3:53 remaining here in the third quarter, and probably a timeout on the field as they were tending to Duncan, but he's up now. Now I see the best coaches in talking with their secondary. Now they break the huddle. 3:53 to go. First down for KIPP at the 36, and that might be their biggest play from scrimmage on the evening.
Yeah, that was one of their best-looking plays, and it was really just throw the ball to a receiver and let him make something happen, and he did.
Exactly. So good to see Blackburn getting a little comfortable back there.
And open it up in a little bit of a spread look again. He's got 4 receivers, putting one in motion.
Coming in is Diallo Mosley. That's number 20 who just came in. Blackburn going to the far side and off the hands of Terrence Mathis.
But I like seeing the KIPP Warriors being a little bit more aggressive here. He had open space. He could have caught that thing about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and he would have had a chance to make something happen. He had a corner out there one-on-one, and if he had managed to spin out of that after the catch, could have been a big play. So this is nice movement by the Warriors. They're being much more aggressive here in the second half.
But they have to get some more positive yardage, because that first down play, a little too high for Mathis to reel in. Second down and 10. We got 3:26 remaining in the third. For those of you who are expecting to see Douglas and Washington at 8 o'clock, it's going to be a little later than that. And there you go. That's Benton cheating a little bit on that near side. That time he got caught.
Yeah, it looked like he was offsides on the prior drive when he tried to read the snap count, but he ended up blowing it up in the backfield. This time he gets called for it, and that's penalty number, 16, 17.
Stop counting at this point. But the good news for KIPP is it's going to make it a 2nd and 5. And I tell you what, if Benton could ever get in cadence with the snap count, he would really be able to greatly improve his numbers from last season.
Well, and it's plenty loud out here. The bands are blowing it up. You may be able to hear it coming through our microphones, but they are plenty loud.
The band is certainly getting things going here in this contest. So 2nd and 5, 3:07 remaining. Here
yeah, if you
can
hear that coming through, that is the KIPP band on the far side bringing the noise.
Exactly. Benton had 15 sacks last season, including 11 for a loss, 57 overall. So that's why he's one of their main prospects. Interesting to see where he winds up amongst his multitude of offers. They gave him the first down at the 46. Might have been another penalty tacked on. And that's Daniel coming to the near side. He'll pick up 2 to the 48.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to keep mixing in the run here, John. They don't want to put too much pressure on this quarterback at this point. But the positive yards have all been coming when they've been putting the ball in the air.
Exactly. Lyden Daniel, number 29. Clock moves, 2:35 remaining. Lydell Daniel, sophomore, only listed at 5'5". And it looks like KIPP is just taking their time. I don't know if they're just trying to work the clock down, but they are in no hurry to get this play off. Game clock or play clock down to 13. So 2nd down at about 8 from the 48. Spread formation, Blackburn all alone. Now he has somebody move across from Daniel. Is he's going to go there?
It's another offsides there.
Yeah. Another flag down. Instead he was going for, I believe that was Rutledge, who was open in the secondary.
Yeah, you saw 2 guys jump on that for the Warriors, and that'll back them back up again.
So the Warriors will get pushed on the other side of midfield. 2nd down and about 13. Back at the 48, just under 2 minutes remaining here in the third. 6-2. Best Academy on top. Again, Best, they won their first ever playoff game as an institution last season. 34-27 victory over Temple before losing to the eventual runners-up in 2A, Rabun County, who lost to Hapeville Charter.
Hapeville Charter ran their way through 2A and come out as a strong favorite in our coaches poll for this season.
They're number 1, which isn't a surprise given that they won it all. Blackburn goes for the well, but he can't get it to Pittman.
And I'd like to see them testing the defense like that. John, he got behind the corner, and if that ball had been on target, it would have been a touchdown. So this is the kind of play that KIPP's going to have to mix in if they're going to find a way to break 3. They're not going to be able to do this 2, 3, 5 yards at a time. They don't have that kind of consistency on offense this early in the season.
No, they don't, but that brings up a big 3rd down. 3rd down and 13. Back at the 48. Blackburn again in an empty backfield. 2 up top, 2 to the near side. There is a blocker in there. Daniel in motion. Blackburn on the move. There's Rutledge to the 45. That's going to be a first down on second effort for Patrick Rutledge. Get into the 42.
And I love this change for the Warriors in the second half, John. They're trying to get their ball to receivers in space, and they're letting them make plays, and it's working for them.
So a big pickup to the 42-yard line. And KIPP is in business with 1 minute, 3 seconds remaining.
I think KIPP's going to be happy with a nice slow drive here. Put the pressure on the Eagles if they can manage a score.
Daniel to the 40. That's a 3-yard gain.
I have to run about 2 more plays left in this quarter.
And we're about
45 seconds.
Yeah, 45 seconds remaining. And that pass to Rutledge, that is the 7th different receiver that Blackburn has completed a pass to.
Yeah, they're running a lot of spread formations, 4 and 5 receivers. They're trying to get receivers into open spots in the zone, and it's worked well for them on this drive.
Second down and about 8. Ball at the 40. 18 seconds remaining. This probably will do it for the third. But it's batted at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. That's Benton. Benton bats down the pass from Blackburn and picks it off. And just as KIPP is driving, Best gets the momentum back.
John, you said Benton hadn't done enough for you in the first half. Well, he is showing up now. He had the great play to blow him up on 4th down, and then the tipped interception with 8 seconds left in the third quarter to change the field and change the momentum here.
Exactly. First interception of the ball game for either team. And Benton, who committed that personal or that offsides penalty a little bit earlier, is able to get the turnover.
Let's see if the Best Eagles can come out here and make something happen. I mean, they've only got 8 seconds left in the quarter, so we'll probably see one play here. But a great opportunity to them starting on the right side of the 50.
First down and 10 at the 47. Man in motion. Hickson goes over the middle to Thornton Thomas. It's complete at the 36, trying to get to the far side and brought down by number 42 as the clock expires in the third quarter.
John, that was one of the best offensive plays for the Eagles tonight. Had plenty of protection. They finally got the block in they needed to keep the Warriors out of the backfield, and he was able to find the man right in the middle, Thornton Thomas, with a real nice gain for him, and they'll start this third quarter around the 35-yard line.
Triquez Tillery with the stop, and we're done with 3. Best Academy 6, KIPP 2, but Best, after that big interception by Benton, got the momentum back. They're at the 34. They're driving as we start our 4th and final quarter of play, and I think the officials have yet to realize they need to flip the field.
Yeah, it should be the Eagles moving from right to left on our screen here. Best Eagles in the blue and gold, the navy and gold.
There they go.
KIPP in the white and purple.
Now looks like they realized it.
Today's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game. The SportalTV YouTube channel has the best live broadcast highlights, features on high school sports. Subscribe now to SportalTV on YouTube.
Fourth quarter, Best Academy trying to maybe a knockout punch, you would think, even though there would be plenty of time left. But KIPP, whenever they seem to get something going, like they did on that drive, they just threw the interception, and that kind of took them out of it. Now here's Best with a chance to pad on to their lead, but it's at the 34. Still some ways to go, some work to do for the Eagles. Man in motion. That's Robinson. Instead, it's a draw play. And down to the 25 is Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan got a nice run there. Kind of made it all happen himself. He was hit shortly after the line of scrimmage. And early in this game, or pretty much throughout, the KIPP Warriors have been penetrating into the backfield and making things happen on the defensive side, and they look to be tiring a little bit here.
And that's another issue. Again, this is the first game. It is the dog days of August. Conditioning, especially in the fourth quarter, especially on the line, is going to pose problems for both squads.
Yeah, these are not big teams, John. About 30 kids on each squad. So this is not some of the larger programs that you'd see in some of the bigger classifications where there'd be 60, 70 kids on the sideline.
Exactly, and you figure this is 2A, and probably best in KIPP, if they were a public school, they'd be in single A. There's that multiplier effect. Draw play to number 7 to Robinson. This is his first carry, really, of the quarter, and he's going to get it to the 9. But I see a flag down on the sideline. I think the official's going to pick that up. Another pickup. That's going to be a 15-yard gain for Robinson.
That's going to be 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line for the Eagles.
Yeah, so ball at the 9 as Best going on the ground now.
They seem to be wearing down the defense for the Warriors here.
And it'll be interesting to see if KIPP, when they get back on offense, can they do the same as we hit the get close to 11 minutes remaining in regulation.
Yeah, with these smaller teams, John, most of the key players playing both ways the whole game.
Hickson under center. He'll keep it on the ground. Morgan to the 5, and that's where he'll get on the forward progression.
Yeah, hit by a slew of defenders from the Warriors who hold steady there. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. Critical drive for the Warriors. We have not seen either team with field goal kickers out there warming up. So,
yeah, I think both teams are gonna try to get touchdowns in these situations.
So 3 more chances to get it in from the 5-yard line, most likely here for the Eagles.
So KIPP's going to have to bow their ears back and try to get this one in, and keep Best from getting this one in. 10-14 remaining. Best trying to build 6-2. Morgan bounces off one man and will go right into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a great individual effort by Morgan. He ran into the wall. He spun. He found himself with nice open space, and he ran right to the pylon for the easy touchdown. And they capitalized off the interception by Benton Jr., and that is a touchdown by Giovanni Morgan.
And that makes it 12-2.
And that's going to be a tough deficit. KIPP has struggled to put together consistency on drives offensively tonight. They were moving the ball nicely before the interception, but the Eagles capitalize, put together a nice drive, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, touchdown.
Exactly. And you were mentioning, Brian, that maybe the KIPP defensive front, which is doubles as their offensive front, a little tired here in this instance. And looks like Best will go for 2. Try to make it 14-2. It's still a 2-possession ball game. Hickson looking into the end zone. He's got a lot of time. Now he'll go for it himself, trying to sneak his way in, but he's going to be short by about a couple feet.
Well, KIPP will take back over on offense here, down by 10 with 10 minutes remaining. And they're going to need to do it quick because I haven't seen them kicking field goals. So they're going to need 2 touchdowns in this 10 minutes remaining.
Exactly. So it'll be KIPP's football when we return here on SportalTV on YouTube. Hope you can join us next week for that exciting Stevenson Southwest DeKalb matchup.
Yeah, we will be live next week, Friday, August 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern as Stevenson and Southwest DeKalb square off. And before that, look for our End Zone to End Zone preview show coming out every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We'll have behind-the-scenes looks from Stevenson and Southwest DeKalb. I was out there with our crew, John, and there's some fun stuff. There's some great behind-the-scene looks at what these guys are going to do offensively and defensively. We got to see a lot of good practice out there, and you will see that on our End Zone to End Zone show on Wednesday at 8 p.m. on SportalTV.
So it's now 12-2 with 10:03 remaining. And KIPP very much in a precarious situation here. Down 10 points, 12-2.
Looks like a timeout. It might be an official's time here.
And maybe a hydration break, which is entirely possible. However, the sun is coming down behind us, so a lot of the field in shade, and that is definitely going to help their conditioning a little bit. Not as under the hot sun here in this August day. 12-2 is your score. KIPP has only managed a safety, and it was the first points of the ball game.
Maybe hot out there on the field, but we appreciate being in the press box up here at Lakewood Stadium, John. It is nicely air-conditioned, quite comfortable up here.
It is absolutely beautiful inside this press box. Again, I think they modernized this a little bit. I think this whole enclosed press box is new, so a good job by the Atlanta Public School system to get these stadiums modernized. And I remember the last time I was here, I don't think they put those little on the stands. They put the little middle risers in there, so you don't have to go up one whole step. So I remember the last time I was here, I felt like I needed a Sherpa.
Well, we will be back here for Mays hosting Langston Hughes. And if you get a chance, go back to halftime, and you could hear us sitting down with Athletic Director Jasper Jules. He talked about Atlanta Public Schools and what they're doing here. That kick's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag, so they're not even going to bother trying to kick it to Pittman and Bird, who are back there for KIPP Academy. Went out of bounds at the 21.
Yeah, the way the Best Academy defense is playing, I think that's not a terrible plan. Make KIPP earn it on the ground or beat them over the top. The Best defense is starting to get into the backfield a bit more, and it looks like they could close this out with a strong fourth quarter here.
It looks like it. So the ball will get pushed to the 35 on the penalty. 12-2, and this will be a key drive for KIPP. Well, we were at the... As we hit the 7:30 hour, that means a lot of action starting to kick off here around the state of Georgia. And if we get any scores, we'll be sure to pass them along.
Yeah, keep an eye on this at Sportal Space on Twitter. We've got a couple reporters at other locations throughout the night.
Drills it.
No catch. That was not caught. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, second down and 10. He was looking for Almonte Duncan, but he drilled it right at his feet. Really didn't give Duncan any opportunity to try and catch that ball.
They're going to have to stay in the air here, John. They got to find a way to make up some chunk yardage if they're going to have any chance to get this thing going their way. Down by 10 with 10 minutes. They've been struggling to get first downs and maintain consistency on offense. And it's going to be up to the KIPP quarterback to make something happen here.
Okay. All right, so second and 10 with 9:53 remaining. Blackburn calls for it. Hands off to Daniel. And Daniel gets tied up at the 35.
They're not going to let the play run that far, but Giovanni Morgan wrestled the ball out of his hands and would have walked in for a touchdown, but the whistle had already blown.
And
John, that kind of play is just not going to do it. Down by 10 points with 10 minutes left.
No, you gotta
running
air
up
it
the
out.
middle is not going to get you there.
Well, they were thinking that maybe the Best Academy defensive line was getting worn down a little bit, but that is not the case.
A little bit deeper on the Best squad.
Yeah, I don't see Donaldus Foster. He's not in, so it's a more lighter unit. They're putting 3 on the line, well, 4 on the line now. Third down and about 10. Blackburn almost got picked off again. He heard Naquai Bell, number 12, coming at him, so he had to get rid of it, and was lucky it wasn't picked off.
Came with a corner blitz. Nobody on the offense side recognized it, and he had a free shot at the quarterback, and the quarterback is now coming off the field, John.
Yeah, Blackburn may have been shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, he had a free shot at the quarterback. Nobody touched the corner on the corner blitz, and that was not a good look for the KIPP offensive line.
All right, so it'll be fourth down when we return.
Looks like they're going to have to punt at this point.
Yeah, this might be the first real, KIPP's going to have to kick this away. Another good punt here with 8:43 and counting. And Best probably will just sit on the football during their next drive.
The way the Best was running toward the end of that last drive, sitting on the football might go their way.
A end over end kick, hits at the 44, bounces across the 40, and it's at the 38, and that's where KIPP's going to down it.
Yeah, that high snap gave the Best Academy pass rush a chance to almost get in there and block that one. It was lucky to get it out. It looked like it might have even been tipped a little. That punt went nowhere. And Best will take over at their 38, and they will look to pound this thing out, just run some clock, and try to overwhelm the tired defensive line for the Warriors.
So the ball will be at the 38. And again, KIPP's got this game, seeing this game go away from them. Best trying to get the third win of the rivalry between these two. And they're kind of you would think that these two teams would be natural rivals, having similar missions so close to each other. You'd almost want to see this game at the end of the season instead of the beginning. On the reverse, to the near side, Thornton Thomas, and he's going to get 13, 15 yards. And Brian, they're getting 15 yards where the same play in the second quarter only got about 1 or 2.
Yeah, there was a big hole that opened up. Best just looks more rested, more in control here. KIPP is tired, and they can't keep fighting their way off these blocks anymore like they were earlier in the game.
So it'll be the 47.5-yard line, 8:05 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, John, you talk about how close these two schools are. We went between them. They're less than 3 miles away from each other over on the west side of downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, so you would think they would be natural rivals, and you would play them at the end of the season. Well, another bounce off from Morgan, but instead of getting yards that time, he's brought down.
Yeah, earlier in the third quarter, we saw Morgan take a bounce like that in for a touchdown. Sorry, that was in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
That was Jovel Ryan, number 11, who stopped him. And Ryan has been very impressive in the for the KIPP secondary. I've called his name on numerous occasions. They're going to give him maybe a yard on that to the 47 for Thornton Thomas.
I think if you're Coach Adron, you got to be pretty pleased. Look, last year this team lost 32-14 to Best. They've shown that they've got the defensive chops to hang with a good rushing team. Now they got to figure out something on offense as they go back to the drawing board for the second week.
Come to the far side is Robinson the third, and he'll get another yard, maybe 2 to the 40 to the they'll give him a yard to the 46. So they're getting 1 yard attempts as we get to the 6:50 mark in regulation. Again, Douglas and Washington will go at it right after this game is over. Again, Best will be playing Banneker next week right here in Lakewood. And KIPP will have an interesting game at Osborne, playing the Cardinals. 3rd down and 8.
Best doing a nice job of running the clock down before every snap now.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Thornton Thomas in motion, and he'll pick it up. Tries to make a move around Rutledge, past the 40, close to the first down at the 38. Again, that's Jovel Ryan on the tackle.
I think he's going to be about a foot short where they're going to mark this one. Yeah, just short of the 38. Needs about a half a yard.
Yep, that's about all he needs, and I'm sure they're going to go for it in this situation.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Giovanni Morgan, the big fullback, right up the middle here.
Morgan already with 1 touchdown today. Well, I think they're going to give him the first down. The chain gang is moving, and that's why you hear, I assume those are the KIPP guys to our right, immediately to our right. They've been the most vociferous up there as trying to influence the referees from our broadcast position, but they are going to give him the first down in this instance. So it's at the 38 on the draw from Morgan. Morgan just being a north-south runner at this point to the 32.
Well, John, that was the play call I was expecting on 4th and a foot. Makes a lot of sense in 1st down, too. Giovanni Morgan just wearing down the defense now. He's their best option for the Eagles, and he is delivering.
Clock now at 5:15. Again, they reset the timeouts at the end of the first half, so KIPP has 3 timeouts left to use. But right now,
they're going to need to start using them probably if they get a first down here.
Well, they're being very slow. It's Morgan, but I think they might have stopped the play before things started. No, the referee's going to give them that 4 yards to the 29.
It's going to be right up to that first down. Looks like you're going to mark them about a yard short.
Yep, yards short, 3rd and 1. And sure enough, KIPP's going to call a timeout. with 4:46 remaining here in regulation.
Yeah, John, we're joined tonight and every night this season by Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Light Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedule, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. Tonight's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game. John, for our first game of the season, we're working out the kinks up here in the booth. They're working them out on the field, but I think everybody's had a lot of fun here for a good start from Atlanta Public Schools.
Well, it's been a great game, no question. 12-2, a lot of defense being played, and a lot of excitement. I mean, we got a call of safety, and we got a couple of good passing plays, but tell you what, Best has shown that when they want to drive the football, when they want to run the football, they are very hard to stop in that particular play formation. And they've certainly proved that here today, as again, a lot of games going on right now, a lot of scores being posted. Dutchtown 7-0 over Langston Hughes. We're going to see Langston Hughes twice over the course of this regular season. Looking forward to looking at that particular squad. Mary Persons has got a touchdown on Gainesville, 7-0 over the Scarlet Pachyderms. Here, it's 2nd and 4 from the 32. Best Academy up by 10, 12-2 over KIPP. They dropped the football by picking it up and getting it to Robinson. Is Hickson, and Robinson's going to get that first down at the 26, gain of 5.
Yeah, Coach Moore calls his QB over to give a little word about ball security at this point in the game, John. That's the last thing Best needs to do is see that ball bounce off the turf, but it went right back into the QB's hands. He was still able to get the handoff to Robinson and make something positive out of that play.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 26, 4:20 remaining. On the reverse, it's Robinson again, and Robinson can't get around a man. He'll be pushed back almost to the 26. Let's see if they give him forward progression. They do, to the 24.
And it's going to be another timeout, I think.
And it'll be with 3:56. Actually, we got a man down.
KIPP player down, yeah.
Yeah, man down. And that will stop the clock with 3:52 remaining. 12-2 is your score. What was 29?
Number 29 for KIPP.
So number 29 for KIPP. And that would be, I have it right here, 29. Oh, there you are. You're Daniel, Lydell Daniel, their main running back, their main offensive threat today. So Daniel, and it's probably just cramps. Again, it's a very hot, humid day. We had a rainstorm come in about 3:30. And it did get out of here, moved over to the Covington area where it's causing all sorts of problems over that way. But here we cleared out. We had some pretty good weather for football on our inaugural SportalTV Game of the Week. I gave you our schedule a little bit earlier. Daniel, actually this might be a little more serious. Daniel is hobbling. And you really hope that it's nothing too serious for Daniel because he's kind of been their main runner out of the backfield. He's got a majority of their carries, in fact, all of their carries.
John, if you're looking for updates around the state, follow at SportalSpace on Twitter. It looks like Buford up 28-14 in the Corky Kell game over Georgia State Stadium. Hillgrove takes an early 7-0 lead. We've got reporters there. And also for Northside, Warner Robins at Centennial. So keep an eye on at SportalSpace on Twitter for updates from a number of the top games across the state tonight.
Back to live action. Bowling it to the 21. And coming up a little gimpy is number 15. That is Kalik Brock, a freshman. So Coach Moore putting his scrubs in a little bit. That's Brock's first carry of the festivities.
You know, I look at this team, John, and I think that the Best Eagles have got a good chance to make their way back to the playoffs here. They seem to have enough firepower on offense, and they've got a lot of playmakers out there from the defensive side of the ball. And this might just be enough in 2A to get themselves a repeat trip to the playoffs.
Well, that's a nice fake, but KIPP not fooled as Blackburn, as Hickson on the keeper.
Yeah, met by number 20 and number 24 for the Warriors.
Now, Jalen McDowell is 24. Diallo Mosley, 20. Pushes them back. It'll be 4th down from the 21. 4th down at 5 with 2:30 remaining.
Looks like Hickson, I think he's coming over to get a play call, but he took his helmet off a little bit. Looks like it might have got twisted around a little bit on him.
Well, they haven't started the play clock. Now they do. Again, they're in that yellow zone at about the 21. Really, punting not really an issue, so going for it. The formal call as official crew is coming up here. This is probably the crew for the Douglas Washington game, which is coming up right after us, and a timeout called for Best Academy with 1:58 to go and a 12-2 game.
Yeah, big 4th down here. If they can manage this one, KIPP's got a couple more timeouts, so 2 first downs should seal this game. And any score at this point, John, that'll do it. It's going to be tough for KIPP, even if they do manage to get this 4th down stop. They really haven't been able to generate consistent offense or anything down the field, any kind of real good chunk yards throughout the course of this game.
Worth County 7, Turner County 0. That's an early score. Lanier shutting out Peachtree Ridge 13-0 halfway through the first in that one. Flowery Branch 14-0 over East Hall halfway through the first in that one. So again, a lot of scores popping up here throughout the state. Again, go to Sportal Space on Twitter and get all their scores. Looks like Dutchtown's got a touchdown, 10-0 over the Panthers, over who they were playing.
Yeah, Buford opening up a big lead over Tucker, up 35-14 on a 62-yard slant play from Aaron McLaughlin to Austin Turner. So opening that one up big now. Buford over Tucker, 35-14. We will see Tucker on SportalTV, John, one of our game of the weeks here.
I think it's
actually
our
last
week.
game.
Yeah, I think it's their last game of the regular season on November 2nd.
Final season game of the season, November 2nd, Tucker at Stevenson.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Eagles Landing Christian 7, Morrow 0.
The Eagles Landing Christian, a strong favorite in the 1A private in the coaches poll on Sportal News.
On 4th down, Hickson is going to have to throw. He's got a man open coming back, but it's knocked away at the last second.
Great play call, John. He was wide open. Hickson couldn't get his feet really set and couldn't get enough zip on that ball. But if he had managed to put that out in front of the receiver, that was going to be an easy 6.
It was looking for Zachary, but it was Justice McDowell who broke it up. And that's a turnover on downs with 1:57 remaining.
Well, let's see if KIPP's going to find some way to air this thing out, get some kind of positive yards down the field. It's really been the Best Academy defense just keeping them completely bottled up all night.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 21 for Best Academy, and they're going to have to air it out here as this game is rapidly coming to a close. They do have 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, tonight we've got John Morgan and Brian Zwerner on the call, joined in the booth here tonight by Stephen Meyer, our new cameraman. We appreciate his good work tonight. And as always, the man who keeps us all straight, our executive producer, Joseph Johnson.
Rolling to the far side, lobbing it up through the hands of Patrick Rutledge.
That was a good opportunity, John. That was a 20-yard throw down the field. He was open, and it made it to his hands, or close enough. You got to pull that one in and get that catch. Give them the opportunity, at least, to try to get something on the board here in the last 2 minutes.
Stops the clock with $1:49 remaining. KIPP down by 12. Lumpkin County 14, East Jackson 0. So a lot of teams going off early, getting 2 quick scores. Newton 7, Alcovey 3. As we start things off here in the Georgia High School season. So 2nd and 10. Blackburn calling for it. He's got a rush, and he will go down. And they are unable to get the pass off. So the clock's going to keep going, borrowing a timeout. And the sack there by Jalen Avery, a junior, number 25.
Yeah, they were trying to let the receivers get down the field some so they could get some kind of decent yardage out of this one, and there was just nothing doing.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 13. Clock's going with 1:23 remaining. Oh, Flowery Branch has got another touchdown, 21-0. They're still in the first quarter in that game with East Hall. So 3rd down 13, and we've got some movement on that line, so it's going to make it 3rd and 8 probably. Yeah, so there's that encroachment, that offside. Westminster 7, Woodward Academy 3. Got early scores here from around the state. Clocks is at 1:05 to go.
Yeah, clock is running here. It is not KIPP's friend. Really haven't been able to get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. They played very nicely defensively, but the offense just hasn't been there to give them what they need to be competitive tonight.
So 3rd and 8, Blackburn fires to the near side and through his hands. He was looking for Mathis, and Mathis would have had enough for the first down, just couldn't get to it. 40 seconds remaining, 4th down, and this will probably be the last, really the last play, because you figure if they do turn it over, Best is just going to take a knee and get us out of here. So Benton Jr., Richard Benton Jr., even though he committed an offside penalty, made up for it with a big interception. And then Best just drove it down the field. Giovanni Morgan with a 5-yard rush. And that kind of put the game in hand for the Best Academy Eagles. 4th down, Blackburn lobs it high. It's caught! And almost making a touchdown, getting it to Pittman.
Yeah, nice play here. Just time's winding around. They got a good chance out to the 50-yard line. It's going to be too little, too late, but something positive for them, John, to build on for next week.
A big gain for Pittman. I think that was about a 30-yard completion, or at least a 25.
Absolutely. And that's the kind of thing they need to at least have some more confidence. They'll call timeout here, at least try to wing it towards the end zone. I don't think they can make up 10 points in 31 seconds, but, give this quarterback a little bit of confidence for next week. This is a young team for KIPP, new head coach. They played great defensively. They were in the backfield a lot. I think they just kind of ran out of gas a little bit being on the field so much. And that interception at the end of the 3rd quarter really was the backbreaker. It was 6-2 at that point. Benton came in, got that INT, and they turned it around, and Morgan put it in for the touchdown. That blew this game open.
Exactly. So the safeties looks like safety will be all KIPP gets here in this.
Well, give them a chance here,
yeah,
John. They got 31 seconds, so they are still winging it around the field a bit.
Again, KIPP will be playing at Osborne next week before hosting North Atlanta, and then playing at Jackson before getting back into the region with McNair on September 13th.
Another score from at SportalSpace on Twitter. Northside, Warner Robins over Centennial 3-0.
There's another catch, gets it to the 28. And that one went to Bird. Well, that's another 22-yard completion.
Yeah, best drive of the game so far for KIPP. Let's see if they can get the score as the clock's winding down. It's going to start running here as soon as they get the ball set with 20 seconds now running.
Yep, 22 seconds. Blackburn calls for it, looks to the far side, goes to the far side. A lot of people up there, and that's a pass interference penalty. But did they get the touchdown? It
looks like he was in the end zone. It looked like he caught it. It's going to be pass interference and a touchdown.
They do get the touchdown, so Pittman is able to get the score. And yes, and they made a liar out of me, 12-8. A 29-yard strike from Blackburn to Pittman.
Yeah, real nice effort on this last drive. They picked up all those chunk yards, everything they were missing throughout the course of the game. They moved up the field on 3 plays and get the long touchdown with just 9 seconds left. We'll get one crack at the onside kick before this game is over, John.
So 12-8 right now. You got to believe KIPP's going to go for 2 in this situation. But we still,
that pass interference is going to be declined, and that'll be the touchdown.
Yeah, no doubt they're going to decline that.
Touchdown. Okay, there we go.
So we got all that straightened out.
Before this 2-point conversion coming up.
So they will go for 2.
And then we'll get an attempt at the onside kick with just 9 seconds left. So there's still a little bit of life left in this game.
Yep. And if KIPP can come back, wow. What a comeback for the Warriors. But they got to get the 2 points here.
I'm not sure the 2 points is going to do them much good. They don't have a field goal kicker that can put one 50 yards. They're going to need to score a touchdown if they get this onside kick. Even if they get this 2-point conversion.
And they certainly are taking their time getting this together. As we hit the 8 o'clock hour in the Eastern Time Zone, John Morgo, Brian Zwerner live from Lakewood Stadium here in South Atlanta. Opener of our SportalTV Game of the Week. Catch great high school action every Friday night throughout the August, September, October, November months here on YouTube. Appreciate you sticking around with us. Again, we have an early start today, but our typical will be the second half of the doubleheader next week when we have that Stevenson Southwest DeKalb matchup. Empty backfield for Blackburn, man in motion, and they're going to give it to Pittman, but nothing doing for him. So it will be 12-8.
Yeah, KIPP not a kicking team. I mean, obviously in a normal situation, you'd see them kick the extra point, make it a 3-point game, John, and give yourself a chance at a field goal to tie if you manage this onside kick. But that's just not the way it's going to go down tonight. KIPP is going to have to get this onside kick and manage to score a touchdown all in 9 seconds.
That's what they're going to have to do, and it's going to be very difficult because when you get that onside kick, again, time's going to go off. So you got to hope that you get it really quick and then just take a knee, fast, call a timeout, then take a shot at the end zone. That's really about the only way KIPP's going to be able to pull this off. Irwin County 20, Berrien 0. Swainsboro 7, Jefferson County nothing. That's at the end of the first. Lumpkin 21-0 on East Jackson. Salem's got a score on Heritage of Conyer 6-0. Lanier is extending their lead on Peachtree Ridge 19-0. As we update scores from around the state. So they'll kick off from the 45. Will KIPP. And I guess the yardage from that pass interference is going to be assessed right here.
Yeah, added on to this kick. So if they can manage to get this onside kick, John, they're going to have a shot at it from the 30 or 35.
And that has been Blackburn's range.
Yeah, he's got plenty of arm for it. He's not going to have more than one play.
Well, you're going to have the good hands crew on the line for Best Academy. So
it kept one guy back in case they try to punch it over the top of it.
But they're not going to. Everyone here, even the concession stand people, know what's happening, and the concession stand people probably haven't been able to see any action unless they're watching us in the back.
Hopefully they're watching on SportalTV on their phones. Here we go. KIPP.
Right. And another thing, they're backing them up. You don't want to be offside on this if you're KIPP. You got to be sure you get it off cleanly and are onside.
Referees taking their time here. 9 seconds left in this game. Last gasp for KIPP. And here's the whistle. Here we go.
All right, we're finally ready.
Apparently not.
No, we're not. Referees are certainly drawing this out, aren't they?
And they're going to move him back 5 yards.
That's Nazi Shakir, number 44, the kicker, and they're going to move it back to the 50. And yeah, you would think they'd be able to realize where the ball was like about 15 minutes ago. But yeah, 15 yards from the spots. Yeah, I guess that would put it at the 50.
That makes more sense to me.
9 seconds to go. Remember, it's got to go 10 yards before KIPP can recover it.
KIPP, Best got 5 guys up at the 40, and another 5 just 10 yards behind him.
And one deep. Rutledge is going to move from one end of the line to the other. Shakir puts it up. He's trying to spin it. It takes a big bounce, but it goes right to the deep man. To the 30, and down at the 30 with 4 seconds to go. And now all Best needs to do is take a knee. That was Nikwe Bell.
John, there was no reason for him to be trying to return that. He should have sat down on the ground the second he caught that thing.
So it looks like your final score will be 12-8, as all Hickson has to do is just take a knee. There's 2 seconds remaining. And Best Academy will get the victory, go to 1-0 in the season, and more importantly, 1-0 in the region. They'll get an early lead in this region, depending on what's going to happen between the Washington-Douglas game coming up about 30 minutes after we're done. So probably about 8:45 is when that thing will tip off. So it's going to be a late night here at Lakewood Stadium for that second game of this opening doubleheader But, Brian, we had a good defensive matchup and just enough offense to make it interesting.
Yeah, not your normal football score out here, John. The first score of this game in the second quarter with 8 minutes left was a sack. It was a punt that was blocked by KIPP. Best grabbed it in the end zone and fell on it. That was a sack. We had a touchdown to make it 6-2. Touchdown with no extra point. Made it 6-2 Best with 1:12 remaining in the second quarter. An interception at the end of the third quarter by Benton for Best. Set up the Morgan touchdown. He bounced one outside to make it 12-2 with 10:03 remaining in the fourth. And then a long touchdown pass with 9 seconds remaining by KIPP cut the deficit to 12-8. And that is your final score here from Lakewood Stadium as the Best Eagles defeat the KIPP Warriors in a defensive struggle. John, any final thoughts on this game before we wrap it?
Well, it was a great game, great defenses. We've seen a lot of things we could like about KIPP, especially you mentioned their defense. Ryan Jovell, I thought he was a revelation. We didn't hear much about him, but he seemed to be everywhere on the defensive side. And again, Richard Benton, he had a relatively quiet game, but when he came up big, got that big interception. It was Morgan kind of made a name for himself. Giovanni Morgan rushing the football for Best, and for KIPP, Sam Pittman, he also made a revelation catching the football.
Yeah, I look at both of these teams, and I think in 2A, Best looks pretty well positioned to get themselves back to the playoffs next year, try to get a back-to-back playoff and improve on that second round. And if you're KIPP, you got to come away from this thinking, hey, I hung tight, I was right in there, right up to the end, and I got a good chance to improve on a 2-7 record under new Coach Adrine. So I think it's a good effort by both of them, and I think they can both find things to build on after the first week here. We appreciate you joining us tonight on SportalTV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We want to see you back here. We'll be live every Friday night during the season for Friday Night Lights. And don't forget, on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., our End Zone to End Zone, behind the scenes, highlights, and everything you love about high school football. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night.